tyres, possibly going level with Liverpool in 4th place. We'll have to wait and see how that does play out there. We'll bring you the lineups in a moment. There's changes for both sides. Burnley with 3 changes from the 2-0 defeat to Brighton, whereas the Red Devils make 1 change and revert to a back 4. They're coming forward with Dorgu down the right-hand side. Ball forward, deflected away back to Dubravka. Of course, spent a stint on loan at the Red Devils a few years ago. He goes wide to Walker. High press on from the Red Devils early on. But it's myself, Lewis Raftery, joined by Simon Barlow to take you through this independent off-tube studio commentary of all the action this Wednesday evening in the Premier League from Turf Moor. Well, Simon, of course, it was a 1-1 draw to Leeds at the weekend. I mean, the sacking was a bit surprising. Of course, it felt to me personally it's been coming to a degree, but it's an opportunity. Of course, Fletcher's under interim charge tonight. There's talk of Solskjaer, Carrick, Fletcher. We'll have to wait and see. But what do you expect maybe from his side this evening, and Burnley as well, of course?
Yeah, I mean, I'd expect the team to probably play with a bit more sort of I don't know, just a bit more freedom. You know what I mean? It's like they've been sort of held back. As you see, Patrick Dorgu going in for a challenge. I don't think he's going to get a free kick for that. Interesting for me as well that the formation. Obviously, we were expecting the back 4. We've got a back 4. That's the formation that Dan Fletcher's been playing for the under-18s all season. He's not going to play a system that the players didn't seem to suit anyway. That what now Amorim's gone, but Dorgu's been playing on the right-hand side of the midfield. When they played a back 4. Today he's on the left and Mateus Cunha's on the right. So that's an interesting sort of move that Fletcher's brought in. Cunha we've seen play off the left for Amorim when he's played a back 4, but today it's on the right. Obviously, if United are going to stick to this formation, they're going to get Brian Mbeumo and Ahmad back, and they're vying for essentially the same position in this formation now.
Yeah, you get Mazraoui as well, so right back, of course, with Dalot, and looking at options there, perhaps. Dorgu, of course, was signed as a wing-back, but he's an attacking player, but gives options with Shaw, for example, as you said, when the 2 wingers get back from AFCON. So poor pass from Dorgu, picked up in the middle, on the right-hand side, trying to play back out to Walker. But it's Ugochukwu into Hannibal against his former side as well. He's going to drive further forward, plays it down the left-hand side. Burnley are playing a 3 or 5 at the back. However, you do like to look at it. So quickly the lineups for Burnley. 3 out, Ekdal, Brun Larsen and Anthony from the 2-0 defeat to Brighton. In come Esteve, Hannibal and Edwards to the lineup this evening. They're moving it quite well at Burnley in the final third. Just outside the penalty area, back to Hannibal on the left, plays it down the line, ball will come in, it's well deflected away by Ugarte, kept in play.
খাবো কি খাবো না
They taste more fizz. Wow. Max Cola. Taste the maximum.
মামা বন্ধ করে দিলা?
চলো ওই দোকানে যেতে।
আজ কিস্তি যাবা না?
ভাইজান, বিকাশ থাকলে কোথাও যাওয়া লাগে না।
বিকাশে
নিশ্চিন্তে কিস্তি দেই, ডিজিটাল পাস বই সাথে রিসিটও পাই।
কি বলে? হ্যাঁ?
এখন এনজিওর কিস্তি
বিকাশ পেমেন্ট করলেই স্বস্তি।
For the Red Devils, whereas for United it's only the 1 change. Yoro's out, Fernandez is in, and as Simon's already spoke about, they do revert to the back 4 due to that. For Burnley, it's Dubravka in goal, back 3 of Laurent, Esteve and Humphreys, midfield 4 of Walker, Ugochukwu, Luis and Perez, and a forward trio of Hannibal, Brozier and Edwards. For the visitors, it's Lamens in goal, back 4 of Dalot, Heaven, Martinez and Shaw. Casemiro is partnered by Ugarte in the middle, and it's Cunha on the right, Dorgu on the left, with skipper Fernandez back for the first time since that 2-1 defeat at Villa Park, and Sesko leads the line.
Different position for Fernandez as well. It's his old position, isn't it? Yes. Playing in the sort of the hole in the 10 position. He's already started to light things up. The nice pass to Dorgu.
Dorgu ball into the box. There's only Sesko in there. It's a little bit too high for the forward as well, and Dubravka does well to come out and claim the ball. As you say, it's a different position, but it's probably his favoured position. Fernandez just in behind the strikers, even under Amorim. when he first came in, Fernandes was playing those two attacking midfield roles, and I thought that suited him quite well. And I thought dropping deeper, it wasn't the worst position, but I thought you could get much better out of him. Good little back heel there from Cunha. Fernandes over the top for Sesko, well headed away there by Esteve at the back. It's Courtney-Edwards under the weight and the flight of the ball. Ugarte's battling with him, but he does well to keep the ball for Burnley. 5 minutes into the game at Turf Moor, still goalless. Of course, you wouldn't expect maybe goals early on, but it is a 0-0. Elsewhere, of course, we've got nearly a full slate of Premier League action. 8 games going on, nearly all at the same time. United do still have the ball with Casemiro in the middle. Fernandes is clipped, but the referee, Stuart Atwell, this evening lets it play on. Fulham, it's under VAR, but they've just taken a 1-0 lead, possibly going into half-time against 10-man Chelsea. Cucurella with a straight red card early on in that game. Myself and Sam will do our best to keep you updated with all scores elsewhere as well. But forward come Burnley. This is a nice move. Hannibal to Perez on the left-hand side. Ball's dinked in. Too much on it, and it will go out. Actually, it'll trickle out for a throw-in on the left-hand side for United near their own corner flag. But Burnley, when they've come forward, they've shown some good bright spots so far.
Yeah, it was Josh Laurent playing the ball into Medjbry's feet and then out to Perez. I mean, Broja is in there. He's up against Martinez, but the cross never really gets anywhere near him, to be honest. We've just seen a replay of the foul by Laurent earlier on Bruno Fernandes. There wasn't much in it, to be fair. Bruno Fernandes goes down under a bit of contact, back sort of being pushed in the back, really.
We throw in for Shaw on the left-hand side, tries to loop it into Ugarte. He nods it on for Sesko, and he tries to nod it into the path of Fernandes. Casemiro, quick pass from Fernandes into Sesko. That's what United will get. Covered the game against Leeds from Ellen Road, and I thought they're just missing someone who will play that killer pass like Fernandes, of course. Yeah. How vital he's been over 6 years now for United, and I think it's shown.
Well, this will be the first time that Sesko has played with Bruno Fernandes in that position. I think it could make a world of difference. The runs that he'll make, he's looking at who could actually find those runs. Well, Bruno Fernandes could.
Yeah, I think sometimes I did see against. That's why what Xerxes came on and found out it was Cunha, but found Cunha straight away. You had someone who could play that killer pass more than just maybe Cunha on his own at Ellen Road in that first hour of football. Lovely ball to Shaw down the left hand side, pulls it back for Sesko, back heel looking for Fernandes. Delors has it just on the edge of the area for him, might pull the trigger. Back to Cunha. Casemiro will go for a strike. He should have taken a touch and kept that attack alive as he just almost scoops again under the ball and out for a Burnley goal kick. Yeah,
it was a lovely pass from Martinez to release Shaw that got United the momentum to the move, and then it sort of broke down on the edge of the box. Cunha sees Casemiro coming. I think he probably called for it, but it was a dreadful shot, and nowhere near the goal of Dubravka.
Yeah, well wide, and it is a goal kick. Just over 7 minutes in. Scores elsewhere, of course, at the same time as us kicking off on this service, of course, as well. Newcastle host Leeds United at St James's Park, where elsewhere, apart from Fulham and Chelsea, said Fulham had taken the lead, ruled off for offside. So it's goalless still at Craven Cottage, but elsewhere there's a lot of other games going on. But they've just about to go half-time, and they're at Craven Cottage as well. Shaw has it on the left-hand side. Plays it back to Ugarte. Thought he had a decent game against Leeds. Thought he was exactly the player in the middle with Casemiro that was maybe needed for the feisty battle that was at Ellen Road. Back to Shaw and Martinez. Simon saying that was a very lovely ball to Lee Shaw down the left-hand side. Heaven, of course, being trusted by Darren Fletcher this evening. So we spoke about, obviously, a good few injuries in the squad. Harry Maguire is back on the bench, and of course Bruno Fernandes is back in the 11. So very important players back into the picture for the Red Devils, of course. Sit here and say that, you've just sacked your manager. They're still well within a Champions League race because everyone else is just as inconsistent as each other. Cunha into Casemiro. That's, if anything, United. Maybe that's why, I don't know if they pull the trigger because the goal top four is still very much alive.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can look at it, many reasons why they pull the trigger. I mean, Ruben Amorim's 35% win ratio since he got to the club's not great. Even though they are in the mix for the top six, it is largely down to the other clubs failing and not really. United haven't, they're averaging less than 2 points a game, about 1.5 points a game, isn't it? Something like that. So it's not really great, is it? So, okay, there were maybe other external reasons, what he said in the press conference, but I think you could look at performance-wise and say, yeah, the sack was coming.
Yeah, if maybe the final straw was a press conference, but there was a lot of other things that went into it, as you do said. Again, looking at the table, there's a lot of missed opportunities. Lost at home to Everton, drew with Wolves at home. They could even be further than where they are in sixth place. Coming forward at Burnley. Hannibal will strike at goal is blocked away. Delors wins it and plays a decent ball to Dorgu. And Burnley, there's a bit of space in front. A few players forward here of the host. Dorgu plays it into the feet of Sesko. Back heel into Dorgu. He's going to drive into the area. It's a heavy touch. The Bradford comes out and he does claim it. But I think that's already showing the signs of the intent from United. It's a bit quicker. Decent pass into Sesko from Dorgu. Gets it caught in between his feet a little bit. But it's a lovely idea and back heel. And heavy touch from Dorgu. If that's a bit of a nicer touch maybe on his favoured left boot. Takes it in. Could have even maybe played into Cunha if it's a nicer touch. But again, good move from United. But unfortunately came to nothing.
Yeah, it was a sort of move that had a lot of promise. Just that final touch from Dorgu there wasn't quite there. I mean, he's never played as a winger in his career, has he? And he's now forced to play in that role because United don't have that many wingers due to AFCON. So this is probably not going to be his position for much longer. I would have thought he'd go back to if United are playing a back four. I think Dorgu is more of a full-back option than a winger option.
I think that'd be more to his strengths as well, if I'm honest. In part of a back four, we do look at the bench. It is quite strong for United. A few players back. I spoke about Maguire's back from injury. Mason Mount as well. Kobe Mainoo as well named on the substitute bench this evening. So there's a lot of options for United to see this game out. Maybe just get some minutes to a couple of players who are coming back from injury. Ball forward to Sesko. It's a poor pass and intercepted well by Ugochukwu. Into Perez down the left-hand side. Few 1-2s. Back to Ugochukwu. Sprays the ball to left-hand side to Kyle Walker. Of course, it'll be very interesting in picking up a win this evening with a former Manchester City man. Remember last year in the derby when he went down, when he went nose-to-nose with a United player, a bit embarrassingly, but maybe I want to put amends to that. Walker still on the ball on the right-hand side. Goes back to Lawrence, and Burnley do keep possession for the moment. They're moving it around well, but United are pressing high, trying to at least keep them honest and move them around. So Ugarte pressing high, and Fernandes, I think he'll enjoy being a little bit further up the field. Burnley still have it with Ugochukwu. Halfway into his own half, pressed down by Fernandes, but gets the ball out of his feet into Hannibal. Plays it to the left to Perez. He's got a few players running forward. He plays it back to Hannibal. He's going to drive forward. Does Casemiro bring him down? Referee says no. I thought it was more of maybe coming together. Casemiro maybe couldn't get out of the way, but decent move from Burnley. And to say the 19th, they do look more confident than I thought they would be at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, they started out the season quite well. They're on a bit of a roll. Had a few unlucky results. One of those probably was at Old Trafford, where they thought they deserved a draw. Got a couple of rough decisions that day. Obviously, the penalty, pretty much in stoppage time, was tough to take. But I think it was a penalty. I think it was Jadon Anthony, wasn't it? It was hanging on there to the shirt of Ahmad, and obviously they were gutted because they'd come back twice in that game, Burnley. And there were other games. I think Liverpool game as well. They were hanging on for a 0-0 there. Got done by a late goal.
Ball comes into the box.
বসুন্ধরা টিস্যু শুদ্ধতার সাথে আপনাদের পাশে আছে বছরের পর বছর। আপনাদের ভালোবাসায় টানা তৃতীয়বার অর্জন করেছে দেশের সেরা সুপার ব্র্যান্ড স্বীকৃতি। বসুন্ধরা টিস্যুর পাশে থাকার জন্য আপনাদের ধন্যবাদ।
A reflection off of Heaven, and I feel for the young defender. Of course, he had a bit of a mistake with Aronson at the weekend as well, where he got past him. Seeing pictures now of Darren Fletcher. How will he respond now as the boss? But a bit of a freak goal for Burnley, but regardless, the lead 1-0.
Yeah, we've seen this a couple of times from Burnley already. The centre-backs are getting really well forward in attacks, and Bashir Humphries, he's made a great little run in behind Dalot there. Aiden Evans perhaps a bit slow to recognise it, but he does get across, puts his arms behind his back, sticks a leg out, and he balloons off that leg and flies past Lomans, who had no chance. I think you'd look at, obviously, Heaven and Dalot have got to be a bit better at communicating there on that side, and that's been an issue, I think, United all season with Dalot at right back, with various other centre-backs playing there, Lenny Yoro and Dalot as well. On this occasion, Bashir Humphries runs into a great position, puts in a speculative cross, and it deflects him for a goal.
Would you say it was a lazy leg from Heaven, or...?
I mean, I think that the mistake really is letting him get there. I think it's not closing him down quick enough. Whether that's Dalot not telling Heaven or Heaven not recognising the danger. So when he sticks a leg out there, the kind of damage has already been done. But it is a very lucky deflection that flies in.
Yeah, it loops really well over Senny Lemens and goes. Nothing he can do about it, and it just hits the back of the net. So 14 minutes in, independent off-tube studio commentary. We've had our first goal, Burnley, and it's a Humphries cross that will be an own goal from Aiden Heaven, which is how Burnley do lead. It's been a good start to the game so far, though, and again, Manchester United almost still trying to find their rhythm at the moment. Heaven He's on the ball now. He's been very much trusted when you do look at the bench. I mean, I know you wouldn't maybe throw Harry Maguire straight back into it, but Lenny Yoro's coming out of the 11. He could, of course, have played with Lisandro Martinez. Dorgu on the left-hand side. Back to Heaven. And now maybe Burnley might sit a little bit too deep. If you are United, what you would say is, look, we've got a lot of time to come back. This isn't in the 70th, 80th minute. We've got a long time to maybe suss Burnley out. Of course, the United are a bit out of sync as well, confidence-wise. Casemiro coming forward into Sesko. It's a heavy touch from the forward, cleared away only as far as Luke Shaw down the left-hand side. He's done really well with appearances this season, considering the 18 months or so he had of torrid injuries. He's staying fit this year and being a really reliable member of that United back line. Ball touch from Casemiro. Does he bring down Hannibal there? Yes, he does. Free kick for Burnley just inside their own half. 15 minutes gone. It's Burnley 1, Manchester United 0. And as I say, for United's point of view, they'll be happy it's gone in early because there's still a lot of this game to go. But you worry now that Burnley might get a bit of confidence about themselves.
Yeah, it gets the crowd up, doesn't it? You know, a team who've been on the wrong end of some results recently, you know, suddenly get a bit of confidence and get a bit more. I don't know. Just, you know, they've got something to defend now, haven't they? They were probably going to be not defensive natured tonight, but certainly, you know, they've got something to protect now, and it might just give them that impetus to keep on battling away.
Yeah, as you say, this is a great run from Ugarte. Still going, plays it down the left-hand side to Dorgu. Can he find a man in the penalty area? Fakes it back onto his right boot. Plays it back to Shaw. Will he whip one in? Yes, he does. Plays it behind a few of the players. It'll be nodded away. Casemiro tries to come and win it. Deflects off of the Brazilian and steals win the ball. But the referee will give a handball against the Brazilian. Thought that was a little bit harsh at first for him, but that was a great run from Ugarte.
Yeah, it was. He has looked sharper, hasn't he? You mentioned the Leeds game where he was really combative and you know, looked like he was almost bossing the midfield at times, more effective than Casemiro. I think he took a bit of time, didn't he, to after being on the bench for so long, just to get that match sharpness. But he's definitely got it now, and we saw from that run he was running away from other midfielders, which we've not ever seen him do before.
No, when he kept going, I was thinking, is that Ugarte? Is that another player wearing 25? But it was a good run from the defensive midfielder for United. I think when he's partnered with Casemiro, he looks a little bit better than partner with a Kobe Manu or a Bruno Fernandes, for example. But Dorgu plays the ball over the top, looking for an Sesko, headed away at the back by Esteve. Burnley will keep the ball. Perez on the left-hand side, as we've Simon pointed out as well. Even you've got Lawrence and Humphreys, who, well, Humphreys has played at centre-back. Lawrence, I hadn't seen him play centre-back before. They are very much acting as full-backs and really getting forward and underlapping and overlapping and causing United a little bit of grief. And they're on the ball now with Florentino Luis into Edwards, and what I would say is maybe to play devil's advocate is a lot of United fans want to go back to the four at back and this and that, but when they've played a three at the back for so long, it might be hard.
Yeah, so the movement of Burnley is just causing United problems on that right hand side. We saw Heaven and Dallo got swapped over there in the build-up play, and again they're going to try on this side. That it does feel as though Burnley are targeting Manchester United's right side of the defence. They feel that could be an area where they get some joy tonight.
Ball over the top, looking for Walker. He will get a touch. It's a heavy one. It was just running away from the wing back. Hannibal, just a bit too much power and pace on that ball. But we sometimes see those action areas, don't we? If we see it, it'll be very heavy for Burnley on the left-hand side for their attacks. Humphreys is overlapping. You're getting Hannibal over there as well. Edwards is holding a bit of width on the right-hand side, but it's really heavy left favoured, as Simon spoke about a few moments ago. We'll be throwing for United on the left-hand side. As I said, every game kicking off at 7:30. It is still in half-time, but Brentford are beating Sunderland 1-0 and Everton are 1-0 up against Wolves. That's just got underway, those two, for the second half of football. The game at St James's Park that got underway at the same time as us is still 0-0 between Newcastle and Leeds United. And again, just watching it, it's poor from Heaven, it's poor from Dalot, it's poor from Casemiro. I'm not saying it's Casemiro's man, but he just runs past them. But again, as you said, there's no communication of Heaven going, watch this man, watch this here. I think it's just an easy run.
I think Martinez could do more there as well. Martinez could have given him an early shout there if he spotted the danger, but he doesn't seem to give any instruction there to Aiden Heaven to get over.
Especially as a more experienced defender. Aiden Heaven, 19 to 20 years old, very similar to your teenagers just coming into the 20s. They are young players, still learning on the job, if you will. Fernandes dropping a little bit deeper. Of course, in that attacking midfielder role, he has got that option to almost just, it's a free roll, go wherever you can and cause a bit of chaos. Heaven coming forward, plays it to the right to Dalot, back to Fernandes. Into the feet of Casemiro. back to Martinez, and Heaven almost playing on the right-hand side at the moment. Fernandes and Ugarte exchange a few quick 1-2s. Short on the left hand at the moment, but it looks like a free at the back, doesn't it? Almost looking like a free at the back with Shaw, Martinez and Heaven. Of course, it's just more the fluidity of United defence and movement. Heaven, just on the halfway line.
It's just a way of getting Bruno Fernandes involved in the game, isn't it? The full-back pushes so far on. There's a massive space there between centre-back and full-back, and Bruno Fernandes just backs into it and gets time on the ball.
Heaven on the right-hand side, the low dropping a bit deep. That's a poor pass, but Burnley have really put the pressure on the Portuguese full-back. He will come away with the ball, and he will go back to Lemens in goal. And conceding not a clean sheet for the Belgian in goal, but nothing he really could do about the deflected effort. He was never going to be able to get there. Ugarte, good start to the game, good ball into Sesko. Fernandes had made a bit of a dummy run. I think Sesko was trying to take a touch and find his skipper with the ball back. Casemiro nods it down to Fernandes, 1-2, and the Brazilian has it. Further wide to Shaw, he's got an overlapping run of Dorgu, plays it to the Dane, back to Casemiro, tries to dink it into the box. Cunha made the run centrally. I think Casemiro was trying to find him. He made the run diagonally, didn't he, across the box, and again, just a bit of miscommunication.
Yeah, I think that the cross has to come earlier from Dorgu rather than setting it back there. Just gives the Burnley defenders a chance to push out. Sesko's got no chance really getting on the end of a ball from that sort of shallow an angle when the defenders are pushing out, whereas if Dorgu'd put it in, he's got the defenders going the wrong way, and give the striker a chance.
Ugarte picks the ball back up, and although when Burnley getting the ball, they are coming forward and trying to create goal-scoring chances. They have just sat back a little bit and allowed United to get back on the ball. Just over 20 minutes played at Turf Moor. It's Burnley 1, Manchester United 0. Eden Heavens on the ball, the man who unfortunately goes down as the own goal. It was a ball in from the left-hand side from Humphreys, legs stuck out by Heaven, and it dinked over the top of Lemens in goal. Fernandes, as I said, back in for the first time since he picked up that hamstring injury away at Villa Park. Ball over the top, looking for Cunha. It's cleared away by Humphreys, only as far as Delo looks for a quick pass into Fernandes. It's poor, and now it's cleared away, and Broyer's going to have a chance to run at this United defence. Great tackle from Heaven there, and that'll be a little bit of a confidence boost for him. Of course, he didn't make the mistake. It was a ball over the top, but he got his angles and the pace and the flight of the ball all wrong against Aronson. Again, he's a young player, so I don't want to give him too much grief and making that mistake for the own goal there, but little things like that might be a little bit of a confidence booster.
Yeah, I think he's had a good season. Obviously, hasn't played a lot, but when he has played, he's done well. And there's been, one or two little minor sort of things he could tidy up in his game. It's difficult for him though. He's a left-footed player playing on the right side of a back four now. He made that tackle perfectly. Right-footed tackle. That's the angle you got to take. That's the foot you got to use to make that tackle. He did. I worry about him sometimes passing off his left in that position. He's going to make those passes from his left, but if he gets closed down, that pass is going to come into a danger area. You know what I mean? Whereas if he's clearing off his right, it gets a deflection, it goes out of play for a throw, everybody can reset. So that would be my concern with him playing on the right-hand side of the back four.
Yeah, and again, as we spoke about, when you've 14 months, 15 months, I'm in charge. You're so used to training in a free at the back. You've done so many drills, so many games, and he's always played on the centre or the left, as you said, because he's left-footed in that back three. That it might just be the little things of training into him. He's trying to play it from the back and on penalty area. Martinez plays a lovely ball over the top to Ugarte, and Burnley have pressed high, which means the Red Devils can run into a bit of space. Fernandes on the right. He's got Delo further to his right-hand side, plays an early ball into Sesko, he heads, and it goes on target. Lovely ball over the top from Fernandes. That's exactly what you spoke about, Sesko making that run, and they needed someone to find him. Good ball in. It was a little bit awkward to say he should have scored from it, but it's a shot on target.
Yeah, you said it in commentary, early ball in, and that's what he wants. He wants early balls in. Bruno Fernandes spots that, puts it in there, defenders are backing off. He's got the position to win the header, which he does get a decent header in. It's just unfortunately for him straight at Dubravka.
Every other game in the 7:30s are back underway. Manchester City there leading through an early Haaland penalty at home to Brighton. As we said, Fulham and Chelsea is goalless. Everton are leading Wolves 1-0. Palace and Aston Villa are goalless. Brentford are 1-0 up against Sunderland, and Bournemouth 1-0 down to Spurs. They're now 2 goals to the good are the Cherries against Thomas Frank's side. And the other game, Newcastle Leeds, kicked off at the same time as us, is goalless. But here it is Burnley 1, Manchester United 0, and Burnley coming forward again with Edwards, the tricky winger. He's got a chance to drive forward. A few times they wanted a few fouls there, did Burnley, but Edwards does well. Shaw and Fernandes almost double team to get the ball. They don't, and Shaw pokes the ball free from the Burnley winger's feet. Dorgu, ball back into the middle, might fall kindly for Casemiro. Into Sesko, tries to take a few touches.
ক্লায়েন্ট রাজি হয়েছে, তুমি আসতে পারবে তো সময়ের মধ্যে?
এত চিন্তা করো না, আমাদের অনেক সময় আছে।
তুমি এখানে কিভাবে এলে?
আমি লিফট করে আসলাম অত্যাশ্চর্য হিরো এক্সট্রিম 125R এর সাথে। আপনার দিনটিকে দুর্দান্তভাবে উপভোগ করুন।
Not further action taken when the play came to an end there.
Well, we're just seeing that attacking areas now 60%, as you said, down the left-hand side for Burnley. So it's been heavy favoured for Burnley down the left-hand side. But we're well over halfway through this first half. 25 minutes, just about to tick over at Turf Moor. It's Burnley 1, Manchester United 0 to take us through to half-time. Pass you over to Simon.
Cheers, Lewis. Yeah, Manchester United on the ball with Fernandes, sideways pass to Casemiro, a little nutmeg there on Florentino Lewis. Now, Cunha getting involved in the first time really in the game, some 25 minutes in. He wins a free kick there, scrappy play brought down by Ugachukwu. And Manchester United have a free kick about 30 yards out. Ugachukwu just pleading his case there. I mean, he doesn't get the ball. I'm not really sure what case he had. Cunha goes down right in front of the referee and wins the free kick. So Bruno Fernandes will take it, pretty sure about that, the returning Manchester United captain, but he's got Casemiro stood next to him, and not many Manchester United players committed inside the penalty area here. You usually expect to see a couple there. Sesko's is sort of lurking just beyond the penalty spot. It's a four-man wall set up by Dubravka. He was once on Manchester United's books, wasn't he? I think he might have played in a Carabao Cup game or two. But this is Bruno Fernandes' chance now to show what he can do. Back in the Manchester United team after injury. It's either him or Martinez to take it. And it's going to be Bruno Fernandes. He chips it into the penalty area for Casemiro, who heads it back across. Loopy headed to the back post. Cunha's header, and it's off the line. Brilliantly cleared off the line there by Bashir Humphreys.
What a clearance that was. I didn't think the header from Casemiro at first was a great one, and Cunha did well to rise, and it looked all for the world that it was bound for the back of the net. But what just IQ from Humphreys, because he's actually on the penalty spot, isn't he? And he makes his way back to save his goalkeeper and defence. It was well worked free kick from United. They'll still have a set piece, but that's really good defending.
Well, a few Manchester United fans regretting the loss of their set piece coach this week, part of the backroom team that have departed under Amorim, but that is a set piece that United really worked very well. There's a high corner from Luke Shaw towards the back post. Casemiro goes in with a challenge. Sesko now trying to turn inside the penalty area. It's scrambled in by Martinez, and Manchester United have their equaliser, although Burnley have got a decision here. The referee has pulled it up for a foul, and the goal will not stand.
Yeah, it looks like was it Sesko maybe? I mean, I'm assuming they might look at VAR, but on the field the referee's given the foul, as you say. Martinez about to run off in celebration there. I mean, there were so many bodies used. It was a floated ball as well, wasn't it? So it took so long to come down for someone to get a head on it, and it's one of them as well in the penalty area. So much pushing, so much pulling. You see Sesko and Ugachukwu have got each other. Heavens hugging one of the defenders as well. Casemiro's all over each other. Walker and Martinez as well. I don't know if it's the one with Martinez on Walker because he's the goal scorer. I'm just trying to watch where the referee maybe pulls it up. And I mean, there's that many players with hands all over each other that I'm not really sure. Again, is it the Martinez on Walker one maybe? I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. Play's not restarted yet, so presumably there is some sort of VAR check going on here, but it doesn't... I don't know, maybe not. No, we're not seeing the VAR... sort of sign made or anything like that, but it looks like the goal's not going to stand. It's it's going to be a goal kick, free kick.
I mean, you were speaking about the set piece coach, Darren Flex. I think it's one of them. If I'm honest, if as a manager and a fan you watch that, they go, "Oh, that's a little bit soft." But if your team can see it, you probably go, "That my player's been fouled." Yep. It's maybe one of them.
28 minutes gone. So Manchester United had the ball in the back of the net through Lisandro Martinez, but it will not count. Here's the free kick, I should say, from Dubravka. Picked up by United in defence. Heaven sends it back to Sene Lomans. And the Belgian goalkeeper passes straight to Florentino Lewis. And this ball's played back in as an offside here against Armando Broja. And the referee keeps the... Well, now he blows the whistle because there's no advantage when the clearance was made. It went straight to a Burnley player. And so Manchester United will take a free kick from just inside their penalty area. Yeah, Kyle Walker clearly was the player that was trying to attract the referee's attention by going down inside the penalty area on that last corner. And Lisandro Martinez, who eventually put the ball in the back of the net, was the man who had hands on him. Like I say, maybe a bit soft, but perhaps Burnley are owed a soft decision after what happened at the end at Old Trafford.
Yeah, you'd have to say that sometimes just a rub of the green, isn't it? That's what you would say is that, well, it didn't go for you a couple of months ago. I mean, it does go for you. This one, again, what I would say is if Martinez isn't happy with that, but we all know that if that was Walker on Martinez at the other end, Martinez would have gone down and said, I want a free kick. So they all work out in mysterious ways, as you say.
Clearance from Dubravka is flicked on towards Pires. Laid back now to Mejbri, the Tunisian, little lollipop there up against Dallo. He stands on the ball, stops it, plays it back from African Cup of Nations duty, where Tunisia flopped in the group stages. Had some harsh words to say, Mejbri, about the future of Tunisian football, the present. As Burnley build up from the back again. Edwards lays it back to Ugachukwu. The former Chelsea man gives it away to Dallo, who's quickly snapping in and driving forward now. The Portuguese plays it out wide to Cunha. Cunha on the right-hand side, up against Hannibal. Knocks it back now to the supporting Casemiro. And now into Bruno Fernandes, edge of the penalty area. Cunha looking for a pass. Gets it. Little back heel towards Dallo. It's cut out by Florentino Lewis. Now a cross comes shot. Flashes across the 6-yard box and goes wide of target.
Hey, it's not bad from Casemiro. If someone makes a run in there, you're saying that's a lovely ball. You can see a mile away as well what Fernandes is trying to do. He's just stretching to get that ball to Cunha. Unfortunately, and then it's a back heel. Delo's in there. There's a lot of bodies as well, but it's decent from Casemiro. I like the idea. Just no one really making that run. Looks like there might be a penalty as well at the G-Tech favouring Sunderland. It's 1-0 Brentford, but it could be 1-1 in a moment.
Referee's going to have his attention drawn to the time wasting of Martin Dubravka now, who's walked very slowly with the ball and eventually takes the goal kick from the opposite side to where it went out, just to get a few more seconds. And he kicks it into the Manchester United half, where it's headed back by Heaven. Sesko would come short, so that ball is going to be collected by Esteve. And he sends it back to Dubravka inside the penalty area. Now with Laurent. Closed down by Bruno Fernandes. Down the line to Kyle Walker, but he's managed to somehow get past Dorgu and played inside to Edwards. Edwards skips past Casemiro like he wasn't there, and now Burnley are on the counter-attack. Lucas Pires hanging out to the left-hand side, gets it now on the edge of the penalty. It goes to the cross, comes shot, and it's only just wide. Real danger there for Manchester United on the counter-attack.
That was great transition there from Burnley, just moving it so effortlessly through the United midfield almost, and it's one of them, isn't it, where, as you say, it's cross come shot. He's probably saying, if bro you can get there and get a touch, fair enough, but I'm trying to also find at the bottom corner, or maybe take a nick off of the post, or something along those lines. It's a great play from Burnley, and once again, as you said, it ended up coming from the left of Burnley.
Casemiro gets it in midfield, plays it back to Heaven, and now Martinez just jogging forward here. He's got Dallo offering wide out on the right-hand side. Leeds have scored at St James's Park. So the team that drew with Manchester United at the weekend are a goal up tonight. Dallo knocks it back to Heaven. Heaven carries it forward and plays it sideways to the Portuguese. Looks for the return pass. Now it's gone to Casemiro. Casemiro shielding it from Marcus Edwards. Finds Heaven out on the right side. He goes down under a challenge from Florentino Lewis, wins a free kick.
It's a bit silly there from Florentino Lewis. He just flies into the back of Heaven and he's going nowhere. He's the defender, and then there's a little bit of pushing and shoving afterwards, isn't there? Really no need for it. But I think I think Burnley are really pressing well against United's midfield. I think they also know that Ugarte and Casemiro, they're not real top tier passers, if you will. I think they're great footballers, but they can't ping passes, so they almost want to pounce them when we can, and it's been very good so far. But looking at the stats as well, you would say 2 shots for Burnley, 3 for United, 2 on target. Burnley had to test laments because it was
AI টেকনোলজির কঙ্কা হ্যাপি ওয়াশিং মেশিন, কটন, সিল্ক, উল, ডেনিম বা পলিস্টার, যত্নের সাথে সব কাপড় পরিষ্কার। কঙ্কা হ্যাপি থাকুন।
Walker closed down by United's press, and Dorgu knocks it out for a throw. Yeah, Benjamin Sesko had that header on target from the Bruno Fernandes cross earlier, and Lisandro Martinez goal disallowed after an alleged push by him on the corner from which he scored. United also testing, not the goalkeeper, because it was Mateus Cunha had a shot cleared off the line, a header cleared off the line by the man who put the cross in for Burnley's goal, Bashir Humphreys, he's having a good game then. He's gone out for a throw-in near side to Manchester United. And Luke Shaw will take it. Lobs it down the line. Sesko trying to hold it up in traffic, but the claret shirts converge, and the ball's played back now to Dubravka by Esteve. Sesko closing him down, but it's out wide now and played forward by Humphreys to Mejbri. And they're given away by the Tunisian. Here's Mateus Cunha going past Humphreys. Can he find a pass? Yes, he does, towards Casemiro. A good challenge comes in, though, by Esteve. And a nice pass out to Edwards, who's now broken free behind the back of Ugarte. Edwards still going. He's got space on the right side to find Kyle Walker, who suddenly crept up, and there's a really good counter-attack here for Burnley. Kyle Walker has to knock it back. There's not enough support there. And in the end, Manchester United got bodies back because there weren't enough Burnley players forward.
No, I think that's maybe Burnley again. If that's 0-0, maybe they push some bodies forward because they're trying to get the lead. But you can just see they never really wanted anyone to throw too many bodies forward in case United did counter-attack. But that was too easy once again. Lovely play from Dorgu.
Yeah, Dorgu with a nice turn and pass inside to Casemiro. United have got to get some vertical passes going here. Bruno Fernandes might be the man to do it. But he just jogs forward with the ball. Eventually stopped by Florentino Lewis. Gets it again here from Ugarte. Flicks it wide to Dalot. Dalot plays it back now to Aidan Heaven. Brighton have equalised against Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium. Brighton, who are Manchester United's next opponents in the FA Cup third round on Sunday. As Martinez plays it square to Shaw. We've got 10 minutes left in the first half. And it's 1-0 to Burnley at Turf Moor. As again, play slows down. Manchester United are trying to draw Burnley out of their defensive stations. Heaven goes wide to Dalot. Cunha goes down the line. The ball's played over the top towards Sesko. Heady clears. A bit of confusion in the Burnley defence there, but it's going to bounce back to Dubravka, and he can pick it up just outside his 6-yard box. Now rolls it across. Newcastle still trail. Or do they? No, Newcastle have just equalised, I beg your pardon, at home to Leeds. Ball over the top here. 1-4. Breuer to chase, but beaten easily there by Argentinian defender Martinez, who plays it down the line to Dorgu. He's gone down in half a challenge, but the referee again says play on. United got to play out this tight area, and they do pretty well in the end. Forward by Casemiro. Just rolls it up towards Cunha. Flicks it around the corner, but it's intercepted by Esteve. Just booted into touch, though, by the Frenchman, and it goes out for a throw level with the edge of the Manchester United penalty area. I think it's fair to say these last few minutes have been scrappy.
Really scrappy, and no one can really get any momentum going, can there? It's one of them as well. It's almost there from Cunha. If that pass works, he's the really open Burnley up, don't they? It's quite finely poised, really, because when both teams come forward, I think they both look quite impressive, but you are right, really scrappy at the moment. Both teams almost still trying to find the footing, but here come United down the left with Dorgu.
Yeah, Dorgu. United need a bit more from Dorgu, I think, down his left-hand side. In the end, he just stops it and plays it back to Shaw. Now he goes on a run and is found by Bruno Fernandes. It's a good run from Dorgu. Sesko's lurking far post, and the cross doesn't quite come in. It's well stopped by Josh Laurent. But I think Dorgu needs to probably get that ball in sooner.
He does. Takes too long. That's good interception from Ugarte, and United coming forward again.
Yeah, with Casemiro. Just stops and reverses the play back to the left now for Shaw. Shaw with Bruno Fernandes. His cross towards Sesko, far post. Sesko leaps, and it's headed away by Esteve. It might be an overhead kick attempt. And then on the edge of the box, United still trying to fashion some kind of chance before Lucas Pires smashes it clear.
Yeah, it's really good there from Fernandes. It's that ball, isn't it? He's just curling into the path of Sesko. It's a good leap, but unfortunately, he's well defended at the same time. But going back to Dorgu, you're right. He needs to quickly put that one in, but he's been found again here.
Yeah, now here's his chance to get a good ball in. He's got space on the left-hand side, plays it in towards the back post, and it's gone through everybody. Not a Manchester United player or a Burnley player could get a touch there, and it's going to be cleared by Lucas Pires. Bit better from Patrick Dorgu there, would you say?
I think, as we say, he got it in nice and early. He made a decision, whereas the one before that, which was a better opportunity to put a ball into the box, he didn't make a decision. He was a little bit slow with that one, I would have said. But that one, it was at least a better decision-making opportunity. Some
very niggly challenges coming in from Burnley now. I've just seen Broja's gone down, but just after that, Aidan Heaven got a kick from, I think it was probably Hannibal Mejbri. Just seeing a replay of it here. Yeah, Mejbri's just kicked him as he passes the ball away. The referee's given the foul, I think, against Bruno Fernandes, maybe for the foul on Broja. So I think it's going to be a Burnley free kick, but a bit of a cheap shot there on Heaven. I think they're trying to rile him up. You know, obviously he scored an own goal. You know, he's going to be a little bit fizzing with himself. I think the Burnley players are really trying to get round and just wind him up a bit more.
Yeah, 100%. And again, looking at the age of him, you probably go, right, let's see what he's all about. Let's test him. Martinez is probably one who sometimes he can react a little bit easier, but he is someone who we like. And Martinez, I think, thrives off little things like that, doesn't he? And whereas Heaven, it's the unknown. Is he a cool character? Does he react to it? Does he go ballistic with it? We don't know. Just seen a few players warm up for United in Manu and Mount.
Yeah, I think he's coping with it pretty well so far, Aidan Heaven, as ball's played up towards the left-hand side, headed on by Dallow. It's come off him and gone out for a throw-in to Burnley. They're trying to pin Manchester United deep in their own territory, and successfully doing so with about 6 minutes left in this first half. They lead 1-0 through that Aidan Heaven own goal. Just seeing shots of Jack Fletcher on the Manchester United bench, the son of the interim boss, caretaker boss, Darren Fletcher. Of course, he had to drop one of his sons, didn't he? Tyler Fletcher, who was on the bench at Leeds. So that's going to make it interesting round the dinner table there in the Fletcher household. Burnley play it back into defence now with Laurent. And he finds Kyle Walker facing the wrong way, has to turn back inside and he's giving it away to Patrick Dorgu. And now a chance for United to counter-attack here with Sesko played into the channel. Sesko left-hand side of the penalty area, goes with a shot and it's too close to Dubravka.
He's trying to pick out the corner and he picks out the goalkeeper, doesn't he? It's curling, but it goes straight into the goalkeeper there. I think for me personally, I know he wants to take it on his favoured right. He needs to take a touch and have a strike with his left foot across the keeper. That would have been the better option. And then that's a silly foul by Fernandez and Casemiro, and might be the first yellow card of the game. Oh, sorry, I think Hannibal's gone down with. I thought it was quite soft. He's gone down with a dive, and it'll be a yellow card for the Burnley forwards. Yeah,
I don't see too many of these yellow cards for simulation, but let's see it now. Bruno Fernandes pulls out. Hannibal Mejbri goes down. The referee had a good view of it. It's Bruno Fernandes actually waves an imaginary yellow card as well, which is. The referee's obviously not seen that, but you're not meant to do that either.
No, that's why I think at first Fernandes saying me, and then he goes, "Oh no, it's not me. It's a dive." Good decision by the ref.
Yep, there's a good run from Heaven down the right-hand side. He's got to the touchline. Can he get a ball in? He plays it into the near post. It's volleyed away by Humphreys. Drops on the edge of the box, and it's cleared away by Edwards. Looks like Wolves might have equalised against Everton there at Hill Dickinson Stadium. Manchester United on the attack here with a cross to the back post. Headed away by Humphreys once more. Now Ugarte on the volley tries a shot, takes a big deflection, and that makes it an easy claim for Dubravka.
Yeah, not a bad ball in by Shaw, but it's a little bit behind everyone, isn't it? They've made the runs. If that's maybe 5 yards in front, Sesko's probably nicely running onto that. But again, it's as you say, Sesko is a man and a forward. He thrives off of quick early balls, take a touch, put the ball into the box. He's only had one, hasn't he, from Fernandes? He got it on target as well. So I just think the cross is to take a touch, the weight, then they swing it in, whereas Sesko's already made his run and he's already a bit beyond the ball. It's happened a few times now.
Here's Ugarte deep in midfield for Manchester United. Heaven waits for the press from Mejbri. Goes back to Martinez. And now Bruno Fernandes off the left-hand side. Goes the right-footed ball over the top. Dorgu trying to stretch this Burnley defence. Has got the ball and kept it in down the left-hand side. Knocks it back now to the supporting Ugarte. Square across to Casemiro. Now they look for Dallow on that right-hand side. One-on-one with
প্রেগন্যান্সিতে নিউজটা নেগেটিভ বা পজিটিভ হওয়ার চেয়ে অ্যাকুরেট হওয়াটা জরুরি। আর তাই আমার ভরসা সেটাই যেটা লাখো নারীর ভরসা। গেট শিওর প্রেগন্যান্সি টেস্ট কিট, মাত্র 3 মিনিটেই অ্যাকুরেট রেজাল্ট। তাই প্রেগন্যান্সিতে বি শিওর উইথ গেট শিওর from Get Well.
Save from Dubravka.
Yeah, well, it's definitely getting closer. A couple of minutes to half-time. Another corner for Manchester United. Shaw, high, hanging towards the back post. Dubravka comes with a punch. Drops on the edge of the penalty area to Ugarte. Now Dorgu pointed to go back towards Shaw, the corner taker. Manchester United still with plenty of bodies forward. Cross goes in towards the back post. It's flicked on. And Martinez will let it run out for another corner.
Yeah, the pressure's building, as you're saying. They're just pushing further forward, aren't they? They've had 6 shots, 3 on target as well. I know Burnley are leading, so you wouldn't see that. But just watching this back, it's more as well because Dubravka takes one step to his right, doesn't he? So he has to leap back to his left. But the pressure's still on the Clarets.
Yeah. Manchester United with a right-footed corner from Bruno Fernandes. Again, high to the back post for Casemiro. He's beaten there, though, by 2 Burnley players. Now an attempted cross back in is gone away, I think, for another corner, although the linesman's not given it, so the referee won't give it either. So Manchester United back to the halfway line then after that clearance from Burnley. Chip back in by Martinez towards Casemiro. Chests it down. Could be a chance here for Ugarte on the half volley, and he's rammed it just a few inches wide.
I mean, that was a lovely cushion header there. Great ball back in as well. As you say, from the defender just watching it back, they've got quite a bit of the overload at the back post, haven't they there? It's poor from Burnley. He puts his laces through it and he gets over it well. As you say, he's just wide, unfortunately. It's one of them, if that goes in the bottom corner, it's a great goal, but it's just too wide from the midfielder.
Yeah, more than a few inches wide, maybe like 2 yards wide, but still, it was promising move again. Second face from a corner. Manchester United still look a threat, don't they, from set pieces, even though the set piece coach is gone.
Maybe they've got his tactics board or something like that still written down.
Well, yeah, I bet they prepared for this game, didn't they? You know, the Amorim team will have prepared tactically for this game, because you do prepare for the next game before the other one's finished, don't you? That's how they work, anyway. Next phase here, Manchester United coming forward once more. Ugarte slips a pass that falls straight to Humphreys. He knocks it clear. Medjugorje moves it on. Heaven intercepts. Heaven down the line to Dalot. Now back into Cunha. Slightly quiet first half for Mateus Cunha out on the right side. I just wonder whether maybe Dan Fletcher will think about tinkering at half-time, maybe moving one or two players around or making a substitution even. He's got Mason Mount, Kobbie Mainoo on the bench. But anyway, we're 2 minutes away from that half-time whistle because we're into stoppage time and 2 minutes has been shown by the fourth official. Dorgu knocks it back to Casemiro now. Swept onto Heaven. Burnley with a low block here. Casemiro looking to break that low block. Back heels it to Bruno Fernandes, about 40 yards out. Very central, looking for some width. Heaven offers it and then goes inside. The pass was easily intercepted though by Florentino Lewis, and now Ugachukwu knocks it back to the former Benfica man. Backheeled straight to Dorgu. Could be a chance here for Cunha. Cunha on his left foot. Will he pull the trigger? Yes, he does. Saved by Dubravka.
Yeah, I think he's wanting that run, isn't he, on the overlap, and he kind of sits there, Dorgu, and goes, I'm only going to be passing into your feet. He's going to be intercepted if I play it further forward. I've got to go for the strike. It's a good strike again. Forces a good save of Dubravka. Again, United are building pressure, but Burnley are sitting back and asking them questions. They're just trying to get to half-time out there with the Clarets.
Yeah, they definitely feel like it feels like they're hanging on as Manchester United don't want half-time to come. Martinez drives forward for the team in white to Bruno Fernandes. Now he's pointing where he wants Dorgu to run, and Dorgu makes that run, and Bruno Fernandes finds him. He chips it over the goalkeeper. It's off the line again. This time it's Maxime Esteve with a goal line clearance.
I mean, that's the second one of the game now, and maybe United are thinking, we're pushing. That was a great run from Dorgu, of course. Fernandes didn't do that run. Great ball from the skipper. Lovely little chip, and again, Burnley are saved by a defender.
Yeah, it's definitely going in. Great commitment from Burnley, though. I mean, Scott Parker will be so proud of what he's seen from his team. They are hanging on, but there's such determination in his defending. In comes the corner, headed away again by a towering clearance. Comes back to Bruno Fernandes, who puts the cross in towards the back post over everyone. It might drop into Ugarte, whose volley slashed well wide.
He just gets underneath it, doesn't he? And then he slices it as well, unfortunately. But again, there's some good deliveries for me. They're just defended really well. And as you say, that'll be the thing that, yes, United have had chances. Yes, they've 2 goal line clearances. You wouldn't up, you're holding on. But as you say, they're giving the absolute all there at Burnley. And as a manager, you sit there and go, so that's all you can ask for. And then the performance is really good as well. He will, as you said, really proud at half-time, he will be.
Yeah, I think that will be the last action of the half. We're just waiting for the referee to confirm that as this goal kick's about to be taken by Martin Dubravka. But it is the Aiden Heaven own goal that separates the sides at Turf Moor. It is Burnley 1, Manchester United at 0 at the break. And they'll be back with more for the second half.
Half-time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left-hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aiden Heaven. That dinked it over the goalkeeper, Senny Lemens. Nothing the Belgian could do about it. For the rest of the half, United had chances. 2 goal-line clearances from Humphreys, as well as Esteve. Chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well with strikes at goal. But Burnley have been fantastic in the first half, and they lead Manchester United 1-0. half-time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left-hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven. That dinked it over the goalkeeper, Senny Lemens. Nothing the Belgian could do about it. For the rest of the half, United had chances. 2 goal-line clearances from Humphreys, as well as Esteve. Chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well with strikes at goal. But Burnley have been fantastic in the first half, and they lead Manchester United 1-0. Half-time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left-hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven. That dinked it over the goalkeeper, Senny Lemens. Nothing the Belgian could do about it. For the rest of the half, United had chances. 2 goal-line clearances from Humphreys, as well as Esteve. Chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well with strikes at goal. But Burnley have been fantastic in the first half, and they lead Manchester United 1-0. Half-time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left-hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven. That dinked it over the goalkeeper, Senny Lemens. Nothing the Belgian could do about it. For the rest of the half, United had chances. 2 goal-line clearances from Humphreys, as well as Esteve. Chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well with strikes at goal. But Burnley have been fantastic in the first half, and they lead Manchester United 1-0. Half-time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left-hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven. That dinked it over the goalkeeper, Senny Lemens. Nothing the Belgian could do about it. For the rest of the half, United had chances. 2 goal-line clearances from Humphreys, as well as Esteve. Chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well with strikes at goal. But Burnley have been fantastic in the first half, and they lead Manchester United 1-0. Half-time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left-hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven. That dinked it over the goalkeeper, Senny Lemens. Nothing the Belgian could do about it. For the rest of the half, United had chances. 2 goal-line clearances from Humphreys, as well as Esteve. Chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well with strikes at goal. But Burnley have been fantastic in the first half, and they lead Manchester United 1-0. Half-time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to
লাইনে না দাঁড়িয়ে জমির খাজনা হোল্ডিং ট্যাক্স এনআইডি সহ 130টির বেশি সরকারি ফি বিকাশ করুন নিশ্চিন্তে আর পেয়ে যান ডিজিটাল রিসিট মুহূর্তেই
about it. For the rest of the half, United had chances. 2 goal-line clearances from Humphreys, as well as Esteve. Chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well with strikes at goal. But Burnley have been fantastic in the first half, and they lead Manchester United 1-0. Half-time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left-hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven. That dinked it over the goalkeeper, Senny Lemens. Nothing the Belgian could do about it. For the rest of the half, United had chances. 2 goal-line clearances from Humphreys, as well as Esteve. Chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well with strikes at goal. But Burnley have been fantastic in the first half, and they lead Manchester United 1-0. Half-time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left-hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven. That dinked it over the goalkeeper, Senny Lemens. Nothing the Belgian could do about it. For the rest of the half, United had chances. 2 goal-line clearances from Humphreys, as well as Esteve. Chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well with strikes at goal. But Burnley have been fantastic in the first half, and they lead Manchester United 1-0. Half-time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left-hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven. That dinked it over the goalkeeper, Senny Lemens. Nothing the Belgian could do about it. For the rest of the half, United had chances. 2 goal-line clearances from Humphreys, as well as Esteve. Chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well with strikes at goal. But Burnley have been fantastic in the first half, and they lead Manchester United 1-0. Half-time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left-hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven. That dinked it over the goalkeeper, Senny Lemens. Nothing the Belgian could do about it. For the rest of the half, United had chances. 2 goal line clearances from Humphreys as well as Esteve. Chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well with strikes at goal. But Burnley have been fantastic in the first half and they lead Manchester United 1-0. Half time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven that dinked it over the goalkeeper Senny Lamens. Nothing the Belgian could do about it. For the rest of the half, United had chances. 2 goal line clearances from Humphreys as well as Esteve. Chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well with strikes at goal. But Burnley have been fantastic in the first half and they lead Manchester United 1-0. Half time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven that dinked it over the goalkeeper Senny Lamens. Nothing the Belgian could do about it. For the rest of the half, United had chances. 2 goal line clearances from Humphreys as well as Esteve. Chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well with strikes at goal. But Burnley have been fantastic in the first half and they lead Manchester United 1-0. Half time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven that dinked it over the goalkeeper Senny Lamens. Nothing the Belgian could do about it. For the rest of the half, United had chances. 2 goal line clearances from Humphreys as well as Esteve. Chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well with strikes at goal. But Burnley have been fantastic in the first half and they lead Manchester United 1-0. Half time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven that dinked it over the goalkeeper Senny Lamens. Nothing the Belgian could do about it. For the rest of the half, United had chances. 2 goal line clearances from Humphreys as well as Esteve. Chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well with strikes at goal. But Burnley have been fantastic in the first half and they lead Manchester United 1-0. Half time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven that dinked it over the goalkeeper Senny Lamens. Nothing the Belgian could do about it. For the rest of the half, United had chances. 2 goal line clearances from Humphreys as well as Esteve. Chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well with strikes at goal. But Burnley have been fantastic in the first half and they lead Manchester United 1-0. Half time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven that dinked it over the goalkeeper Senny Lamens. Nothing the Belgian could do about it. For the rest of the half, United had chances. 2 goal line clearances from Humphreys as well as Esteve. Chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well with strikes at goal. But Burnley have been fantastic in the first half and they lead Manchester United 1-0. Half time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven that dinked it over the goalkeeper Senny Lamens. Nothing the Belgian could do about it. For the rest of the half, United had chances. 2 goal line clearances from Humphreys as well as Esteve. Chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well with strikes at goal. But Burnley have been fantastic in the first half and they lead Manchester United 1-0. Half time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven that dinked it over the goalkeeper Senny Lamens. Nothing the Belgian could do about it. For the rest of the half, United had chances. 2 goal line clearances from Humphreys as well as Esteve. Chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well with strikes at goal. But Burnley have been fantastic in the first half and they lead Manchester United 1-0. Half time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven that dinked it over the goalkeeper Senny Lamens. Nothing the Belgian could do about it. For the rest of the half, United had chances. 2 goal line clearances from Humphreys as well as Esteve. Chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well with strikes at goal. But Burnley have been fantastic in the first half and they lead Manchester United 1-0. Half time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven that dinked it over the goalkeeper, Senny Lemens. Nothing that Belgium could do about it for the rest of the half. United had chances, 2 goal line clearances from Humphreys as well as Esteve, chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well was dragged at goal, but Burnley have been fantastic in the first half and they lead Manchester United 1-0 half-time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left-hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven that dinked it over the goalkeeper Senny Lemens. Nothing that Belgium could do about it for the rest of the half. United had chances, 2 goal line clearances from Humphreys as well as Esteve, chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well was dragged at goal, but Burnley have been fantastic in the first half and they lead Manchester United 1-0 half-time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left-hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven that dinked it over the goalkeeper Senny Lemens. Nothing that Belgium could do about it for the rest of the half. United had chances, 2 goal line clearances from Humphreys as well as Esteve, chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well was dragged at goal, but Burnley have been fantastic in the first half and they lead Manchester United 1-0 half-time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left-hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven that dinked it over the goalkeeper Senny Lemens. Nothing that Belgium could do about it for the rest of the half. United had chances, 2 goal line clearances from Humphreys as well as Esteve, chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well was dragged at goal, but Burnley have been fantastic in the first half and they lead Manchester United 1-0 half-time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left-hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven that dinked it over the goalkeeper Senny Lemens. Nothing that Belgium could do about it for the rest of the half. United had chances, 2 goal line clearances from Humphreys as well as Esteve, chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well was dragged at goal, but Burnley have been fantastic in the first half and they lead Manchester United 1-0 half-time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left-hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven that dinked it over the goalkeeper Senny Lemens. Nothing that Belgium could do about it for the rest of the half. United had chances, 2 goal line clearances from Humphreys as well as Esteve, chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well was dragged at goal, but Burnley have been fantastic in the first half and they lead Manchester United 1-0 half-time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left-hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven that dinked it over the goalkeeper Senny Lemens. Nothing that Belgium could do about it for the rest of the half. United had chances, 2 goal line clearances from Humphreys as well as Esteve, chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well was dragged at goal, but Burnley have been fantastic in the first half and they lead Manchester United 1-0 half-time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left-hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven that dinked it over the goalkeeper Senny Lemens. Nothing that Belgium could do about it for the rest of the half. United had chances, 2 goal line clearances from Humphreys as well as Esteve, chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well was dragged at goal, but Burnley have been fantastic in the first half and they lead Manchester United 1-0 half-time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left-hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven that dinked it over the goalkeeper Senny Lemens. Nothing that Belgium could do about it for the rest of the half. United had chances, 2 goal line clearances from Humphreys as well as Esteve, chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well was dragged at goal, but Burnley have been fantastic in the first half and they lead Manchester United 1-0 half-time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left-hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven that dinked it over the goalkeeper Senny Lemens. Nothing that Belgium could do about it for the rest of the half. United had chances, 2 goal line clearances from Humphreys as well as Esteve, chances from Sesko with headed efforts, and Cunha as well was dragged at goal, but Burnley have been fantastic in the first half and they lead Manchester United 1-0 half-time at Turf Moor, and it's Scott Parker's Clarets who lead. It's 1-0 to Burnley against Manchester United. A ball down the left-hand side from Humphreys took a wicked deflection off of Aidan Heaven that didn't.
দাঁড়াও
জানি তো হেঁটেই যাবে। বাজার করে আসার সময় ভারী ব্যাগ নিয়ে হেঁটে এসো না, রিক্সায় এসো। নিজের ব্যাপারে গরজ সামান্যই, কিন্তু আমাদের ব্যাপারে অসম্ভব সচেতন।
এইবার এইটা না, কিছুটা কমে পাইবে।
কমে পাইলে নিতে হবে না, আমাকে একটা রাঁধুনিই দেন। নেন।
হাঁটা স্বাস্থ্যের জন্য ভালো, এটাই তো বলবে।
পরিবারের জন্য সব সময় সেরাটাই বেছে নেবেন আপনি, তাই আমরাও নিশ্চিত করি সেরা তেলের সর্বোচ্চ বিশুদ্ধতা। সেরার জন্য নিশ্চিন্তে আস্থা রাখুন রাঁধুনিতে।
ভাবি কিন্তু ইন্টারন্যাশনাল শেফ, বুঝছো?
রান্নাগুলো যা মজা হয়েছে, ভাবিও কি শেফ নাকি?
না না, ও কিছু করে না, ও হাউসওয়াইফ।
হাউসওয়াইফ নয়, বল হোম মেকার। আর এই পুরো সংসারটা তো ওই সামলাচ্ছে।
এতটুকু একটা কথা নিয়ে
এতটুকুতেই শুরু হয়, শুরুতেই শেষ করতে হয়। নে মুখটা মোছ।
বসুন্ধরা টিস্যু, অশুদ্ধতার বিরুদ্ধে এক বিন্দুও ছাড় নয়।
And it's a warm welcome back to this evening's independent off-tube studio commentary from all the action from Turf Moor. It's Burnley hosting interim manager Darren Fletcher, Manchester United, and it's the Clarets who lead 1-0. An unfortunate own goal from Aidan Heaven. It was a ball in, it was a lovely run from Bashir Humphries. His ball into the box took a deflection off of Aidan Heaven, a left leg that he left out that dinked over the goalkeeper and Alessandro Martinez into the back of the Red Devils goal, and that is how we are coming into the second half of football at Turf Moor. No changes to bring you coming into the second half, so we're exactly how we started and ended the first half of football. United had a lot of chances as well. Sesko had a few headers saved. There was goal line clearances twice by Burnley, one from a Dorgu chipped effort off the line by Esteve. Another one by Bashir Humphries from a Cunha-headed effort. So United had a lot of chances. I believe Burnley still, by the end of the half, didn't even have a shot on target. But regardless of that, they do lead. It's myself, Lewis Raftery, joined by Simon Barlow to take you through all of the action of the second half. And I will bring the lineups just in a moment if you are after them. But in the second half, you're Darren Fletcher. If you're Scott Parker, I think you're saying, look, that was great, as you said at the back in the second half. That was great. Loved what he did there. Hard work and all that to boo. If you're Darren Fletcher, you're kind of saying more of the same. What's the top? Because they played very well, just didn't score.
Yeah, I think United have created chances. They just haven't put them in the back of the net. There's probably a little bit of me thinking, Mateus Cunha needs to be involved more. They have started him in the second half down the middle of the pitch in the 10 position. He's got 10 on his back, but that means Bruno Fernando gets shunted out elsewhere. At the moment, he's playing sort of right midfield, so they'll just have to. They'll just have to put the chances away, basically. They'll still create them in this half, I'm sure.
Yeah, they will have a lot of chances. Cunha finds its way to Sesko, tries to bring it back on his right boot. Doggo might be offside. He goes for a shot at goal. In the end, I think he was just onside. It fell a bit more kindly for the wing-back. He almost was in an offside position. That's already Cunha, as Sam spoke about, more centrally, more getting involved as well. Looking at the stats, 12 shots in that first half for the Red Devils, 6 on target. Burnley had 2 not on target, but they do lead. Just a shade under 70% possession for Darren Fletcher's side, and have the ball now with Casemiro. Dinks one over the top for Fernandez, headed away, but Delors keeps it alive. That's a poor pass into the middle, intercepted by Ugochukwu, but that's a poorer pass from Edwards. Martinez strides forward and intercepts. He goes into midfield, sprays it out to the right-hand side, and that's really what you spoke about. It's Fernandez is on the right-hand side, but he wants to come inside, so there's no one there unless it's Delors maybe adding a bit of width. We've already spoke about the benches a little bit. There isn't really a natural winger there. Shea Lacey can obviously play there, but that's putting a lot of faith in a youngster. The main names you would look at are Manu, Mount and Xerxes, central players. Again, I'm maybe looking at putting Dorgu on the right hand side. I'm not saying that's the answer, but that's the better of the two, or again maybe just going a bit more of a narrow shape. I'm not too sure. Between the options, as you said, that they've got.
I think the start of the second half in the best way they could without making a change, but I don't think it's going to be too long before they do make a change and bring on someone like a Mason Mount or a Kobbie Mainoo even. He's the first game back, and you might only give him 20 minutes, but I think passing, and his ability to, put away a chance, a difficult chance in the penalty area is something that they might need.
Yeah, they have to agree with that. I mean, maybe going a bit narrow, adding some wingers. I'm not too sure how it goes. Quickly, of course, a lot of the games at 7:30 are just finishing up. The game that kicked off at the same time as us are a little bit behind us, but it's Newcastle. They're trailing 2-1 to Leeds United. Whereas here it's Burnley 1, Manchester United 0. We'll let all the full-time results trickle out, but at the moment, likes of Manchester City dropping points. Fulham are picking up 3 points at home to Chelsea. That could be big. Bournemouth 2-2 draw with Spurs at the moment, but we'll see how they play out. Forward comes Cunha down the right-hand side, plays it back to Fernandes, tries to fizz with him. First time, it's blocked away well by Chukwu. Then Hannibal can't get his foot on the ball. Casemiro takes it away from him at the moment. Burnley is struggling to get out their own half. Quickly then for the Clarets, it's Dubravka in goal. Back three of Lawrence, Esteve and Humphreys. Midfield four of Skipper, Walker, Chukwu, Luis and Perez. And a forward three of Edwards, Broya and the yellow-carded Hannibal. He's the only yellow-carded player so far on the field. Forward comes Heaven, switches it to the right-hand side to Delors. Back to Fernandes. For the Red Devils, it's Lemans in goal. Back four of Delors, Heaven, Martinez and Shaw. Ugarte and Casemiro, the two holders. Dorgu, Skipper, Fernandes, bonus box to Sesko! And it's 1 apiece. Talk about getting on the score sheet there. What a strike from the forward. Again, what you spoke about in the first half, Simon. Early balls into the forward. Not in the air this time, but it was fizzed into him by Fernandes. Picking up a bit of space in the half space. Lovely ball, lovely finish. 5 minutes into the second half. Burnley 1, Manchester United 1.
Yeah, he makes a great run, the Slovenian, and he's found by a really well-weighted pass. The sort of pass that you associate with Bruno Fernandes. Putting it right on a sixpence in the penalty area for, on his right foot as well. All he had to do was just steer it beyond the goalkeeper. He's onside, we can see from a replay, so there's no worries about that. It's just a really well-worked goal from Manchester United.
Yeah, lovely pass then. That was just patient play, I thought. It's a lovely strike from Sesko, right in the bottom corner. Nothing Dubravka can do about that one. As you say, it's weighted perfectly from Fernandes to find his forward. So goal he's been wanting, you'd have to say. He's just scored a good amount of goals for United. He's still a young forward, isn't he, trying to find his feet in a foreign league. He was a little bit inconsistent in the Bundesliga. It's his third goal in the Premier League this season for the man who wears number 30 for the Red Devils. So that's a big goal early on, and that will, you'd have to say it would affect Burnley because they were 1-0 up, they fought and fought. They held the 1-0 into half-time, and now do you think heads drop for the hosts?
Well, maybe, but I also worry about Manchester United because we've seen this season now Manchester United are a better team when they're behind. They can lose leads and they can be inconsistent when they're, in this game state, when the game's level or when they're actually winning. So, the job's nowhere near even half done for Manchester United yet.
Look, it's come forward with strike outside the area from Martinez. Bit of a snapshot, but they are trying to come forward and trying to get that lead out of these after 7 minutes into the second half. It's independent of Tube Studio commentary with all the action from Turf Moor. It is now Burnley 1, Manchester United 1. Seems to be a bit more fluidity. I think as well, I would say you are right. Fernandes is more off the right-hand side, isn't he? But they're also maybe asking Delors to get a bit further forward to really add that with. And again, 1-0 down to Burnley, 1 on that's almost right. We will push higher up to get that goal.
I think the Dalot position is just purely to take a man away from that congested area where Bruno Fernandes wants to play, to create space for Bruno Fernandes to have, just 5 yards of space in that little zone. Then Dalot's got to be really high on the right.
I will say, I think it was under Ten Hag, I'll bring this in a moment, as Brozi's driving forward, takes it past Heaven, past Casemiro, into the penalty area. He'll put a strike, come cross into this area, but takes a deflection off of a United defender out for a corner. Was it under Ten Hag under his first season? Bruno was playing out on the right a lot of times with Weghorst almost as the number 10. So Fernandes has played there before. It has to be said at almost that quote-unquote sacrifice of maybe him being in his better position to get others in there as well. It's already paid dividends as he's got the assist for Sesko's goal. It will be a corner for Burnley, and now they'll try and test United from a set piece.
Yeah, they've got height, haven't they? Stev, Broya, Chukwu as a nuisance. Looks like it's going to be Hannibal Medbury to take it.
I'll say as well, so just some full-time results. Manchester City 1, Brighton 1. sure the likes of, unfortunately, Aston Villa have drawn as well, so Arsenal will be licking their lips ahead of their game tomorrow against Liverpool. Hannibal swings one into the back six, heads go up, Dorgu clears it away, and now there might be a counter-attack on for the visitors. Dorgu's driving forward, he's got an overlapping run from Ugarte, he finds him, Sesko is busting a gut to get into the area, Ugarte plays it into the United goal scorer, tries to still go forward, even attempted a back heel into Dorgu, and that is quick transition football from the Red Devils.
Yeah, great run from Sesko again. His runs are so meaningful now. You know, we've seen in the past, you know, he's not sure when to run and where to run. The timing is there now. And you know, on that occasion, he was a back heel away from playing in Dorgu.
Yeah, really good play, really good link up there, but there were players who were busting their guts to get into the area to help out each of their teammates. Fernandes will whip this corner in. Just under 10 minutes into the second half, Burnley won. Manchester United won. It's a decent one, looking for the head of Sesko. It'll be cleared away only as far as Cunha, who'll play it back to Fernandes. He might take another swing at it. That's a poor ball in for his standards. Cleared away only as far as Cunha. He might line up a strike at goal. He does. Gets underneath here and it goes well wide of the goal. But again, just trying to get getting players more involved, isn't it? Fernandes seems more involved already in advanced areas. So is Cunha, and whatever said at half time, it wasn't a terrible first half at all. I'm not trying to say United were poor, but Burnley, as you said, there was so much grit in their performance. But United at the moment outclassing them. I will bring Sam in a moment as it falls for Fernandes in the penalty area, and it's a good save from Dubravka.
He's hit the post.
Has hit the post. Apologies there. So big chance there for the skipper. Again, that's not the first time Martinez has played a great ball over the top as well.
Yeah, defender was really struggling there. Bruno just spins in behind the defender, and he gets a bit of a deflection there, does Bashir Humphreys. He rifles it with his right foot, going for the near post, and he just comes off the outside of the woodwork.
As well, when Fernandes is playing off that right hand side, he can almost get on the blind side, can't he, of full-backs. And again, with that back three, how it was working well for Burnley coming forward. If you've got Fernandes almost between Esteve and Humphreys, again on the blind side, on the right or the left, centrally or on the right hand side, it could actually work quite well in the second half.
Yeah, another thing that was incredible about that last move. So Bruno Fernandes had taken a corner on the right hand side just 30 seconds before. Second phase play, I'll just break off here because there's another chance down the left hand side for Manchester United.
Again, it's Martinez, ball over the top for Dorgu. Esteve has to clear it away, and it's another corner for United.
Yeah, so Bruno Fernandes is having taken a lot of corners from the left, but he's playing on the right. So his recovery run after that corner is 50 yards across the pitch. Now, he did that when Cunha could have dropped in for him. But no, Cunha's just happy to stay where he is, and basically Bruno Fernandes has to do the 50-yard run to get in his position. Then, 10 seconds later, ball over the top, Bruno's got in behind the fullback and got a shot in.
Yeah, I think you'd already say Fernandes is saying, I'm playing your role better than that. You're playing the role, and you know what, I'll go play anyway, and I'll go be the best player on the pitch. Another corner for Fernandes. It's into the back post. Heaven! He puts it wide. He never really connects with it with any conviction, and that was a chance for him to almost go from a 0 to hero, putting the ball in the back of the net at the same end, but this time going the way of United. It should be 2-1 for me.
Yeah, superb corner. Kyle Walker doesn't want to know, and he's shouldered it, hasn't he, really? So we've got a poor connection, Aidan Heaven. He's unmarked at the back post, 2 yards out, and he's come off his cheek or his shoulder. Gone wide.
Yeah, he doesn't hit it with conviction instead, that it comes off his shoulder. It's poor, but what a delivery from all the set pieces have been fantastic. And as you said, losing the set piece goes, but as you said, they will have already worked on this, won't they, and games, but that's something United have been really good at. I think they're the most goals from set pieces this season, definitely second, if not atop of that table after Arsenal have scored another few, of course. But this has been a really good start to the second half for the Red Devils. There's been a late goal at the Vitality. It's full time now, but Bournemouth have scored a third. It's 3-2. They've come with all 3 points. Burnley going to make a change with Hannibal going off, and do you think that's when Jayden Anfield is coming on?
Antoine Semenyo, by the way, who scored it, probably his last game for Bournemouth there. I think he's going to move to Man City. Yeah, Anthony coming on. I think Medjbry's obviously on a yellow card as well. He'd been dispossessed a bit too easily on a couple of occasions at the start of the second half, and I think it's a fair decision. Jayden Anthony, he was one of the players that was dropped for today's game, but he's got a bit of a point to prove, and I think he'll certainly offer a bit more than Hannibal Medjbry was.
Yeah, just going back to Sven, you see that might be his last touch at the Vitality, but picking up 3 points for his side. Now Anthony's coming forward, first few touches, so on the left hand side. It's a positive change, I would say. As Simon said, he's on a yellow card, was Hannibal. Ball back into the box, it was a good one too. 2. It'll fall outside the area for Humphreys. Good tackle from Fernandez. Takes another bite at it. Doesn't come away with the ball though. Falls for Ugachukwu. Ugarte is trying to nip at his heels. Burnley still have the ball down the right hand side. And the other game at 8:15 that's in the second half now, of course, at St James's Park. It's Newcastle who grabbed an equaliser. Newcastle 2, Leeds United 2. Goals in the first half from Harvey Barnes, Brendan Aronson and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Sent the Whites in 2 at half time as Burnley will put a ball into the box from Perez, and it's a catch in practice for Lamens. Joe Linton's got the equaliser in the second half, so that's another game on this service in the later window, if you will, of Premier League action this Wednesday evening. But just looking at some of the fixtures, it's been a great evening of football. It's been a great evening of football here at Turf Moor as well. It's Burnley 1, Manchester United 1, and looking at those stats that just popped up on our screen a moment or two ago with the shots, goal, United might be disappointed they haven't had more on goal at least.
Yeah, maybe. Obviously, the Bruno's hit the woodwork. The two cleared off the line. It's just Manchester United's problem has always been, clinical finishing, and they haven't quite always produced that. But there might be one now.
Ball into the box for Sesko, and he grabs a brace inside 14 minutes in the second half. United have come back from being 1-0 down to 2-1 up. You were speaking in the first half and you responded about Dorgu needing more from him. That's a great delivery. What a first-time finish that was from Sesko. That's showing the quality that United bought in the summer and have turned it around. On the hour mark, it's Burnley 1, Manchester United 2.
Yeah, Sesko, fantastic first-time finish. Opens his body up. Technically, that's a very good finish from Sesko. You can look at the Burnley marking and say it wasn't there, but Dorgu has got behind the defence and put an early ball in, as we said, with a bit of quality. And Sesko's in the right place to finish it off. His movement, actually, he drags Bashir Humphreys over to the far post and then comes in between the two centre-backs. So it's not only a great finish, it's actually good movement to set up the chance.
Yeah, he just lets it go over his body, doesn't he, as you say. It's a top finish from the United forward. And what you would say as well is he's always going to get on the end of that, I'm not saying that, but Bruno's in a great position as well. If he misses it or whiffs it, he's in a great position as a skipper. That is a wonderful ball from Dorgu down the left-hand side. And on the hour mark, as I said, at half-time, 15 minutes ago, United were 1-0 down. And Burnley were not hanging on because they were very good in the first half. But if you look at the statistics, you would say United were dominant in the first half. And now a brace from Sesko. He'll want his first hat-trick, I can assume, in a Red Devils jersey. But Fernandez, on the hour mark, this might have been coming, this might have been played, he's going off.
Yeah, certainly it's easy to make the change now that United are 2-1 up, and I think Aidan Heaven is coming off as well. So the Ruben Amorim trait of changing a centre-back in the game is carrying on. But I presume, it's actually Lenny Yoro, not Harry Maguire. And Mason Mount is the other change. So just two like-for-like changes at the hour mark to keep the intensity high. So one thing that was pretty noticeable this season under Ruben Amorim was disappointing second halves. If you just take the second halves in isolation, Manchester United were the third worst team in the Premier League when Amorim was sacked in just from the second half results. Already it's a small sample size here, but we're already saying Manchester United 2 goals to the good in the second half.
Well, as you said, sometimes United play their best football when they're down. They got that equaliser and the push they wanted that second. And you see the hunger, and I think now it's how the leading is, as you say, how the go from their ball over top for Sesko. Again, he will be hungry for his first hat-trick for the Red Devils. He's still fighting to win the ball. Cunha comes over to help, a great play from Humphreys at the back to continue to drive forward with the ball. That's what you spot on with the lead. So many times they went 1-0 up and then drew 1-1 or something like that. Now it's about leading. What do they do?
There's many factors you could put that. You could say Manchester United don't have a great bench. And certainly in the recent weeks with AFCON they haven't had a great bench. There's not game breakers to come off the bench and change things. But I think Ruben Amorim's use of substitutions was questionable. There was a lot of times he left United fans scratching heads with some of the changes he made. They weren't effective, clearly, because the statistics are there. United are losing second halves, not winning second halves anyway. And here we see, no changes made by Darren Fletcher, but Manchester United have turned it around in the second half now. Now the question for Fletcher is, can he seal the game off? Can he close it down? He's made a couple of substitutions straight after they've gone 2-1 up, so he obviously feels like these are going to do that job. Yeah,
that's going to be the thing. Do they go grab a third, fourth, push forward? Do they sit back? What Amorim did a lot, as you said, when the week of the Newcastle game, that second half was all Newcastle. It was not a back five, it was a back 7. It felt like, didn't it, with a couple of players further forward. So that's the thing. If to me, if Darren Fletcher, of course, it depends how Burnley defend. Of course, I'm not trying to say United will rip apart Burnley at will. But if United go and win this 4-1, let's say, that shows that emphasis on wanting to put the game to bed, as you say.
Yeah, absolutely. Burnley need to step it up now, don't they? As they did at Old Trafford. When they went 1-0 and 2-1 down at Old Trafford, they did step it up. They found chances, usually from wide areas, as I recall in that game. And maybe they'll try to target the wide areas a bit more now.
Yeah, they are playing with that 3 at the back system. You've got Walker and Perez as the wing backs. They've won a free kick as well. Ugarte, just chipping at the heels of Chukwu. So an opportunity now, looks like it will be at Lucas Perez to put the ball into the box. As we spoke about letting Mason Mount, they haven't had too much of the ball so far because Burnley have responded quite well, at least getting on the ball since conceding that second only a few minutes ago. Perez will whip one into the back post. He'll go over everyone. Shaw has to head it away. It'll be kept in play. No, Stevie will let it trickle out for a throw-in, and might even be a long one coming. Usually Kyle Walker takes him quite well. So, again, United have quite clearly sat back a little bit, but it's again how much do they want to give Burnley in terms of, do they want to let them have a lot of the ball, do they want to let them take control of this game? We've already seen on the counter in the second half, United have been quite devastating so far. Walker looks like he will take the long throw in. I think he will, or he's got Marcus Edwards short as well as an option, so Dorgu is marking him quite tightly. So I think the Burnley skipper will go for the long one. He does into the box. It's headed away by Shaw. Cunha's going to track it down, but Burnley still have the ball at the back with Perez. He's been put under pressure by the Brazilian. He's looked more involved, of course, playing a bit more centrally in the second half, just behind Cunha. Edwards has the ball on the right-hand side, tricks and flicks and dances his way past a few players. Still going is a former Sporting winger. Plays a lovely ball to Anthony on the left-hand side. He's going to cut back inside, fakes it on his right, goes for a shot on his left. Blocked away by Delors. Casemiro tries to play it out. Well intercepted though, and driving forward is Josh Lawrence. Still has the ball, but well intercepted by Delors. Now United look to hit on the counter with Cunha, well defended by Chukwu. And that was great play from Edwards a few moments ago.
Yeah, he just tricked Casemiro and then feinted his way into the penalty area, or just the edge of the penalty area. Jadon Anthony probably had a better sort of situation on the edge of the box, coming in on his right foot there. He just couldn't quite fashion a chance.
Burnley at the moment responding well to going down 2-1. As I said, coming into the second half, they were 1-0 coming forward. Now Anthony's got a chance in the penalty area, strike a goal, and Burnley have their equaliser 5 minutes after going down 2-1. The substitute has worked a wonder. Jadon Anthony coming on for the yellow carded Hannibal Mejbri, just as you said, had that chance on his favoured right. What a strike on his weaker left. That is top corner. 66 minutes on the clock at Turf Moor. It's Burnley 2, Manchester United 2.
Yeah, I mean, you could look at Manchester United and say, have they sat back a little bit here and allowed Burnley to get on the front foot? But credit to Jadon Anthony, it's on his left foot. He's in the penalty area and he just curls it beyond Senny Lomans into the top corner. Found by Marcus Edwards. He had too much time, really. Casemiro, we've seen Casemiro after the hour mark. His pressing stats go down, don't they? And he doesn't really get close enough to Marcus Edwards to stop the pass. Still then, the finish from Anthony, feinting with his right foot, going with his left foot and curling it beyond Lomans is absolutely top class, and deserved equaliser.
I think there to agree, but sometimes, I'll even be guilty of saying it. It's almost have said to you, I dare you to go on your weaker left. Go on, take a shot. It's your weaker left foot. We'll stop that. Or just put it in the top corner. Oh dear. Now we are back at where we were just a few moments ago. And you were right. How do United respond going up? That's being a problem for Ruben Amorim. Might just be a problem with the United squad.
Yeah, it might not be a manager problem. It might be just like you say, a mentality problem of the team. When they're in front, they slacken off, or they don't have the confidence to shut games down. Here come Burnley again, looking for a third.
At the moment, they are driving forward. Good play. There'll be a free kick there. Yes, there will. There was fouls by maybe Yoro, Casemiro, and Shaw, but it seems to be that almost Edwards has come alive in the last 5 minutes. So Anthony's I think he's a more attacking player than Hannibal. He's more of a goal scorer. I think it's Shaw who'll be given the foul in the end, and this is a dangerous free kick.
Yeah, it is. Jadon Anthony obviously has just produced that, so he might be near the front of the queue to take it. Edwards himself, I don't know what his free kick taking ability is like, but they'll certainly be looking to test Senny Lomans, who He's not. I don't think he's made a save tonight, has he, Lomans? He's just, the two shots that have been on target have both gone in for Burnley.
Yeah, looking at the stats just quickly, well, as you said, we've only had one shot on target with Anthony. The other one was an own goal. So, 5 shots, 1 on target. He's been beaten twice, unfortunately, because of the own goal from Jadon Anthony. Scott Parker chewing his gum vigorously there. So, it is Edwards. I think Anthony's even pushing away Broju's. I think, as a forward, I can understand Broju's not really had much going, can I have this free kick? But I mean, I'd be fancying Edwards or Anthony, as you said, who's put the ball in the back there. Looks like it will be the Burnley number 10, Marcus Edwards taking it. Probably suits the left footer better, would you say?
Yes. Yeah, I think we've seen Lomans concede from a free kick from a very similar position taken by a left footer earlier this season. I'm trying to remember who it was now.
Was it Tavernier in the Bournemouth game?
Yes, it was. It was the 4-4 draw, wasn't
it? That was it, 4-4. Trying to think of the score. This could be 4-4, but by all the missions with how it's going, it will be Edwards to take it. He steps up, it's into the wall. Not the worst free kick in the world, but well defended by the wall. It was a good jump. Cunha was the draft excluder, if you will. And then they've got the ball with Florentino Luis. Good tackle there by Ugarte. He wants a throw in, but it will go the way of Burnley. So both games of the 8:15 kickoffs, 2-2 finally poised. It's Newcastle 2, Leeds United 2 on the other game on this service. And here at Turf Moor, it's Independence off Tube Studio Commentary. Well, the action from Turf Moor. It's Burnley 2, Manchester United 1. Burnley took the lead for an own goal from Aidan Heaven in the first half. A 15-minute brace from Benjamin Šeško put United 2 up, and then only about 5 minutes ago, a great strike from substitute Jadon Anthony has finally put this game back at a draw. It is Burnley 2, Manchester United 2. To take it through to full time, pass you over to Simon.
Cheers, Lewis. Yeah, Burnley back on the ball, as they have been, really, since United scored that second goal, and now Anthony squares it to Edwards. Casemiro really needs to pull his finger out a little bit more and keep the pressing up, but at the moment it doesn't look possible for him, as Edwards again turning onto his left foot, playing it back out to the right-hand side. Little 5-yard passes here. They're just toying with Manchester United, Burnley, really. Edwards again. They need to get hold of him. Anthony coming off that right side again, where he scored his goal from. Goes onto his left. Tries to flick it through into the penalty spot, where it's cleared by Yoro. Just anywhere will do. And eventually it comes back to Cunha. Cunha's ball over the top. Sesko running the left-hand channel. He's got the pace to get away from Esteve, but it's covering behind from Humphreys. Sesko running towards a corner flag now. Holds it up and waits for the cavalry to arrive. It's there with Dorgu. Now to Casemiro. Edge of the penalty area, back to Dorgu. 2 in the box to aim for. Mason Mount is also there with Sesko. Dorgu comes in on his left foot, tries a shot. On his right foot, tries a shot. Now he plays it square to Cunha. Cunha's ball out wide, doesn't find Casemiro, and Burnley can clear. Laurent hoists it high, but fairly aimlessly central, and it's going to come back into the Burnley half via Senna Lomans. 20 minutes to go. More activity on the Burnley bench. Scott Parker is whispering in the ear of another substitute that he's planning to send on soon. Not a great deal there for Manchester United. Just wonder whether Darren Fletcher would be tempted to bring on maybe his son here in this situation. Just bring a bit more energy to the midfield. But it's a big call. Manchester United 2-2 at the moment with Burnley. As Ugarte flicks the ball out wide. It's a bit lazy, but Shaw makes it into a decent pass with a strong challenge. Now Shaw clips the ball into the penalty area. Sesko on a turn, shoots, and it's straight to the goalkeeper. But it was a very good turn.
Lovely turn. And I think that's the problem. He just can't torque his body, if you will, to get the strike on goal. But it's a lovely piece of play. Lovely strike. Now here come Burnley again.
Yeah, Casemiro beaten there by a simple passing behind. Ugarte bails him out this time with a tackle. And I think if Darren Fletcher can't see that Casemiro is absolutely gassed at the moment, then he needs to... there's activity on the Manchester United bench. Here's Cunha bursting down the right side. He's got energy. He's got Sesko, the only man in the penalty area, in white. Cuts it back to Sesko, turns, trying to get a shot with his right foot. Still going here, but then he just runs out of space, and it's cleared out by Bashir Humphreys. But still, there's some thrust from Manchester United.
There is, and it looks like Menu and Xerxes coming on. Maybe, well, if Casemiro doesn't come off, as you said, he just looks gassy. Looks like he's put so much into the game. He looks knackered. And I think that I was going to say about with Fletcher, it's about how fit is Menu. If Menu's fit enough, I think Menu comes on.
Yeah. He's got 20 minutes in around.
Yes, 100%.
Really, and Xerxes obviously had a decent substitute appearance. Substitute appearance at Ellen Road, so perhaps deserves his opportunity as well. The rumours of a move in January seem to have gone quiet. It's Casemiro trying to force it forward towards Sesko, but not quite marrying up with the run there. It's Anthony back to Humphreys, then into the feet of Florentino Lewis. Now Ugachukwu onto Anthony. Nice little pass there they got around Cunha on this occasion. Manchester United's midfield is just looking a little bit lacking in intensity at the moment. Ball down the line for the run of Kyle Walker, who's up there, and he rides a challenge and wins a... No, he doesn't. It's going to be a goal kick.
I think that's a good tackle from Martinez. He goes in almost with the effect to jump over me. He doesn't go in and fly into win the ball. I think it's good play by the Argentine. Walker wants a corner. I think it's good play from Martinez. He almost just as I say goes in for it without going through Walker to win the ball. Casemiro will be going off, and it will be Cunha as well for Xerxes. He'll probably gone for a 2 up top, if you will.
Yeah. It looks like maybe a change in tactics from Darren Fletcher. Casemiro gets a pat on the back from the Scot. Xerxes trots on. Mainu as well. It's his first appearance since that Bournemouth game. Had an injury. Not sure. It was a mystery injury. I've never really sort of confirmed what the injury was there for Kobbie Mainu, but he's okay for a 20-minute run out at the end of this game in central midfield. As the ball's chipped forward by Shaw, headed clear by the Burnley defence. Then Edwards getting involved again, flicks it on down the line. Comes off the back of Martinez. Mainu gets his first touch, finding Shaw. And now Kobbie Mainu again. Threads the ball through 2 Burnley players to find Ugarte. Ugarte dumps it off to Dorgu. Back to Shaw. Manchester United just creeping forward here in the final 20 minutes. By the way, also 2-2 in the other game, as you know, at St James's Park. Now Kobbie Mainu stretches for a pass in the centre circle, knocks it back to Lenny Yoro. United dominating possession for the first time really since they got that second goal. It's been a good 10 minutes for Burnley. Now Mainu again on the ball, centre circle, knocks it square to Ugarte. Wide to Shaw. Xerxes makes a run alongside Sesko now. It looks like they have gone to maybe a 4-2-4 or a 4-4-2. Kobbie Mainu takes it again, turns, plays it back to Ugarte. Burnley sitting in their out-of-shape formation. Now it's threaded through to Xerxes, laid off to Shaw. Down the left-hand side, Dorgu again, a little back flick to Shaw. Is he going to take on Walker? No, Walker just stops his progress. And they go back. And it's a bit of a loose ball there from Shaw, but a great challenge there from... who was that? That was Martinez, was it? No, it wasn't. It was Ugarte. Gives it to Martinez. Now United come with Mainu, approaching the left edge of the Burnley penalty area. Dorgu again. Mainu makes a run to clear some space for Dorgu, and he takes on that space and then passes straight away. A blind pass into Jadon Anthony, and the attack goes down. But the Burnley players have collided with each other, and now Kobbie Mainu's won it back. And he plays it into... Oh, it's lazy ball there into Mount's feet, and it's picked off by Burnley again. And now they come forward with Anthony again. And was Anthony brought down there? The referee says yes, he was, by Xerxes, and it's a free kick to Burnley.
I think it's a bit soft. I think it's clumsy from Xerxes, what I will say, with going on the shoulder there. And both played for about the 90 seconds there. It was a good tackle to win it for Burnley, then to go in the way picture, like I say. Mainu does well to win the ball. Then he gives away a sloppy pass. Not enough power on it. And I think that's what Mainu was a bit rusty coming back from this, as you said, unknown injury. But they're going to make a substitution now at Burnley as well, to get fresh legs in a more forward position, you'd say.
Yeah, back from the African Cup of Nations, Lyle Foster replaces Armando Broja. Not been a memorable 90 minutes from the Albanian, but Lyle Foster, I think he did all right at the AFCON tournament for his country. He's been playing well for them. And I think he scored, of course, didn't he, at Old Trafford, did he not? I'm trying to remember now, yeah.
Yes. I mean, that'll finish 3-2. This could finish 3-2 as well.
Could well, yeah. Ball forward to Foster, who's backing into Martinez, edge of the penalty area. And he's turned him, but just no support as he slipped on the ground. And United will clear it through Ugarte. But they're just playing 5-yard passes, not really going anywhere at the moment. Shaw down the line to Dorgu. Dorgu tries to use his body to win a free kick. And he does, although Kyle Walker's trod on his Achilles there. He does help him back to his feet there to try and avoid a booking. Dorgu plays the free kick back, and Manchester United again. They're trying to draw Burnley onto them, I think, aren't they? With these short passes, but not able to really make much progress. Now Yoro advances over the halfway line. Still going here, Lenny Yoro. Running down a bit of a cul-de-sac. Has to play it inside to set to Dalot. Now Mount. Mount moves it across the pitch and finds Shaw on the left-hand side. Xerxes in the penalty area. Aimed towards the Dutchman. It's headed away by Burnley. Drops to Mainu on the edge. Lays it out to Dalot. Back to Mainu. Mainu's cross is low at the near post, and it's easily stabbed away by Humphreys. Comes back to Yoro. Yoro running towards the penalty area and then committing defenders and laying it off to Dalot. Dalot crossing opportunity right hand side. Puts it in towards the back post. He's headed on and wide by Yoro. It's quite a lot wide, actually.
It looked like it was maybe good at first, maybe fourth for him. I will say Xerxes, I mean, he goes that place, he might not have got it. If he attempts to go for that straight away, I think he might keep that in it. He doesn't go for it and he thinks, I might be able to keep this in, and then he stops in the end. And I really think he could have kept that in there. Look at the most shots on target in the Premier League this season. Sesko is now 6 shots on target, the most for the game. Of course, some of them, the header, the first 2 headers in the first half, well saved. The one a few moments ago, when he was on the turn, as you say, that's 3 out of 6. Then he's got his 2. So there's been a lot, but I think Dubravka's done very well to save some of them as well, of course.
Yeah, from that goal kick, it's headed back by Xerxes. Now, second header won by Ugarte. It's going to fall to Anthony Edwards with Ugarte all over him. Plays it back to Laurent. Laurent pinging one long, looking for the run of Foster. It's going to run all the way through to Lomans, who's up on the edge of his penalty area. And he waits, and then, he's going to get rid of it soon. He drops it to the ground and plays it out along the deck to Ugarte. Now, space for the Uruguayan to drive through midfield, get United moving forward here. Plays it out to Dorgu. Sesko and Xerxes in the penalty area. Shaw on the overlap, and that's where it's gone. Shaw puts a cross in. It's a high-hanging one towards Xerxes. He goes up with a header. It's scrambled away by Burnley, and eventually Florentino Lewis puts his boot through it and gets it up towards the halfway line. Lomans tries to return it with interest. There's a lot of United players offside here, but it's headed away by Burnley anyway. And now Manchester United want a free kick for Lyle Foster being offside, and they'll get one. Brentford have moved above Manchester United tonight, is that right?
Yeah.
But Manchester United are also above Chelsea now, as in the live table, because Chelsea lost tonight.
I'm not saying, but you look at this, if they pick up the win tonight, United, they will go level with Liverpool, but a better goal difference because they'll beat Burnley. So they might think of this as a missed chance to go into fourth if they don't win this evening.
Well, they're running out of time to win this game, aren't they, at the moment? Just over 10 minutes left. Lyle Foster trying to hold it up on the right-hand side, knocks it back to Walker. Of course, if Burnley were to win, that would give them a chance of moving above West Ham, wouldn't it? And getting close to Nottingham Forest in a position of safety. And, like I say, 3-2, like it was at Old Trafford, could go either way, this, couldn't it, in the final few minutes?
100%. And again, maybe if United, you want to get if they do get the goal, for example, you might want to get it in the last kick of the game so you don't give Burnley the opportunity to come back, because at the moment that's been the problem, hasn't there? That, as you said, I thought for the first 15 minutes of the second half, Manchester United were fantastic. That's a late tackle by Manu there on Joshua. Nothing malicious about it. Not sure he's been given a yellow card or anything like that. But since the hour mark, United have had chances, but probably Burnley have looked the better side in the last 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, possibly, yeah. They've certainly looked more forward-thinking, haven't they? You know, they were perhaps got a bit too defensive when they were in the lead, and then now they've gone back on the front foot. Ball chipped up towards the edge of the Manchester United box. Dalot rises and it lets it go over his head, actually, and goes out for a throw-in to the Red Devils. Dalot will take it himself. And looking at Mason Mount down the line here, or Xerxes just a little bit infield towards the referee. It goes into Xerxes, who turns nicely and flicks it onto a man in space, which is Luke Shaw. United will raid down the left. Now Dorgu needs to really push up higher. He makes his run as Shaw advances to the edge of the box. Shaw's looking at Sesko, plays it into Xerxes instead. Xerxes with a shot, which he's blocked at source. Comes back to Dorgu. He puts a cross in towards Sesko, hits it, and it's saved on the line by Dubravka.
I mean, that'll be, 7 shots on target now, so I don't know, it just doesn't fall kind of. I thought that was a great break from Xerxes and Shaw, decent balling from Dorgu, and then just as we cut back, here come Burnley.
Yeah, with Lenny Yoro forced to make a challenge on the edge of his own penalty area there to stop a Burnley counter-attack chance. It goes out for a corner to the Clarets. But yeah, Sesko, he had a left-footed shot, which he didn't really catch right, did he? It bounced up kindly for Dubravka there. But now it's Burnley's chance to put pressure on the United defence with a corner from there left. They've sent over a right-footed corner taker, I think, to take this and swing it in. Into the final 9 minutes, it's Jadon Anthony to take it. Can Burnley steal a win, as Manchester United did at Old Trafford? Clarets fans behind that goal are urging him to put a good delivery in. As the former Leeds United man, Bournemouth man, puts it in towards the near post, headed away by Manchester United. Dorgu then completes the clearance to the back post, and now he's got a chance to run past Pires. Just caught by Pires there as he cleared, and the referee gives the free kick against the Burnley man. And now he's stood in the way, so United can't take it quickly. They do, to Kobbie Mainoo. Kobbie Mainoo, central midfield, just trying to chip a pass through a tiny gap there. It was never going to reach Benjamin Sesko. Leeds may have stolen the 3 points at St James's Park there with a late goal against Newcastle. Ball forward from Burnley, won back by Ugarte, who gets in there and passes it to Mount. Now, Kobe Minu back to goal, finds Ugarte. Burnley players just looking a little bit leggy for the first time, really. Marcus Edwards struggling to get across here now as Luke Shaw gets it. Shaw knocks it wide to Dorgu. Dorgu's one-on-one here with a defender, Laurent. Can he take him on the outside? Tries to run him. Then just the loose touch there with Laurent able to just block him off, and it goes out for a goal kick.
I mean, Dorgu as well, he's put a lot into this game, hasn't he? Down that left-hand side, just watching back. This is a good ball in for Šeško, as you say. He just takes a swing in it more than anything.
Yeah, he's leaning back, isn't he?
He never catches it, you said earlier, as well. It's a little bit unlucky. Again, some of them, the 7 shots on target, some have been lucky, some of them haven't. And that sheer Lacey coming on for Ugarte, so that's an attacking change.
Yeah, and he's going to go presumably out to the right. That's his position, and now we might see... I'm trying to work out how this is going to... maybe he's going to play central.
Just throw everyone on and hope for best. I mean, what a moment if he could go grab the winner for the Red Devils.
Dubravka with a goal kick. Pings it into the Manchester United half. Kobe Minu to Dorgu. And then a strong challenge comes in there from Ugachukwu. Minu stays down, holding his ankle as play continues with Xerxes. Poor pass inside, straight to Jake Anthony. Has to make amends here, the Dutchman, but it's been slipped to Marcus Edwards. Edwards got Foster in front of him. Edwards goes himself, trying to cut it back. Well blocked by the United defence and Martinez. And now Xerxes can make a better pass to Minu, who has recovered, and he knocks it wide. Dorgu. Back to Minu. Risky ball inside, but he finds Mason Mount. Mason Mount's playing central, and Shea Lacey's hugging the right touchline. And here is the Manchester United substitute. Lacey was 61 on his back, approaching the edge of the penalty area. He goes for a shot with his left foot. Oh, he's in the crossbar. Shea Lacey, well, he did that in his previous substitute appearance, didn't he, with a shot that just went wide. And now Xerxes on his right foot checks onto his left. It's a shot across the face of goal and wide.
What a moment that would have been for the young player. As soon as he curls in, you can see the round of applause he's getting from the travelling fans. That was curling, that had power on it, that had beaten Dubravka. But as I say, it's cliche, but the post in the bar can be the keeper's best friend. It was to Dubravka then, but what a moment. What were his first few touches of the game? Nearly made it 3-2. And again, that's what you want to see. You want to see United coach put a bit of brave and say, you know what, we're going to put youngsters on, we're going to put forwards on, and it nearly paid off there.
Yeah. What game was it where he came off the bench and did something like that? Was it Bournemouth?
Villa?
Might have been. Yeah, Villa it was.
And I know he definitely came on against Villa.
Yeah, it was Villa, yeah. Just went wide. But he looks a player, doesn't he? Yeah, he looks a player. He's fully fit, and he's got a few more minutes to maybe do something here as Kobe Minu wriggles away from 2 would-be tacklers, plays it back to Dallo. 5 minutes to go, plus stoppage time at Turf Moor. Manchester United trying to get a winning goal. Burnley 2. His ball up towards Dorgu, who rises and he beats Kyle Walker. Sesko trying to fasten onto the flick on, but it's cleared by Burnley. Up towards Edwards. He's had a strong second half now. Picks it up again, central area. Looking at the wide areas, he just dumps it off to Anthony. And now Pires. Back to Humphreys. His cross that came off Aidan Heaven set this game in motion early on. Had 3 further goals since then. And now Esteves forced backwards by Sesko's pressure. Dubravka plays it out to the right. First time in from Laurent to Ugachukwu. Former Chelsea man turns in space, knocks it back to Esteve. And now difficult ball for Humphreys to take with Lacey all over his back, and he's put a poor back pass there to Dubravka, who has to hurriedly hack it away. Manchester United's pressing has turned the ball over inside the Burnley half, but Minu's then won a foul there for a poor tackle from Florentino Lewis. And Manchester United have got to be thinking about pumping this ball into the box now. Getting to that stage, isn't it?
100%. And what I will say as well with Manu, back that Lacey strike on it was a great individual effort. That all came from Manu playing that quite dangerous passing to Mount and almost having the opportunity. You know what, I'm going to play that pass, and Mount played it out, and it's been a bit braver than, I mean, what we've covered a lot of Manchester United games, me and you, through this season, and just seen a bit more players going brave and going for the pass in the middle, and that's how that attack came to be.
Manchester United play the free kick short. They've gone backwards here to Shaw. Now into Minu's feet. Minu seems to be finding his old feet again. And now he lays it off to Mount. Mount drives out to the left-hand side, finding Dorgu. One-on-one with the full-back. Lays it back to Mount. Mount square to Minu, 25 yards out. Defender a bit slow to close him down there, Florentino Lewis, but he plays it back to the edge of the penalty area. Now a turn from Xerxes in the penalty area. He's easily defended by Laurent. Burnley will play it out now with Florentino Lewis. Intercepted by Shaw to Dorgu. And now Dalot centrally. Dalot with a man on his back tries a shot from range, and it comes back to Mainu, who strikes into the Burnley fans.
Yeah, that's poor from Mainu. I think he has to just keep the attack up. It fell for him nicely, so I don't blame him for going for that. But again, if that's maybe 10 yards further forward, I go, fair enough, go for that. But yeah, I think you need to keep the attack alive there, find some space. I mean, Dalot did really well to find space himself, and again, I think you need to spread the play a bit. Lacey was open on the right. You had Dorgu still on the left. I just feel them either way, because when Burnley come forward, they look dangerous. I just feel there's still a goal left in this game.
Well, Dubravka's doing his best to make sure there isn't, because he's taking an age over this goal kick. Eventually he takes it, and Xerxes chests it down for Dorgu. Dorgu backing into Foster. It's come off the Burnley man, apparently, because it's a Manchester United throw, which Shaw takes and launches down the line. Sesko holds it up, tries to flick it inside to Dorgu. Doesn't quite come off for him, and Burnley will clear. To Anthony, lays off to Edwards. Edwards taking on Shaw. Shaw stops his progress and it goes out for a Burnley throw this time. Thinking man of the match time, have you got any thoughts on that?
I mean, I think a lot of the Burnley players put so much effort into this game, but for me, I know it's a cliche, he's got 2 goals for man of the match, but I think Sesko's been excellent for me in this game. He's created chances. Yellow card going for us. It's got Parker on the bench for maybe something he said to a fourth official, or maybe one of his assistants, not sure, but quick going back to your player of the match for me, it would be Sesko, or, especially if they get a point, Dubravka's got to be up there in the conversations as well.
Scott Parker's second yellow card this season. Anyway, Manchester United forced back here by Burnley's pressure. Ball in behind looking for Foster, but he's offside. And we're into the final minute of the 90. Well, point doesn't really do Burnley much good, nor Manchester United in their bid for Champions League football. But have you seen enough from Darren Fletcher's team and the formation tonight to think this is an improvement on what Amarin had been serving up?
Personally, yes, 100%. And again, I know this might be his only game. He might coach the cup game. I'm not too sure. Obviously, there's rumours of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Michael Carrick and Fletcher maybe as a trio, but almost managing the sides, so it might be his only game in charge. But I know football's not played on paper, but my word, you look at the stats, he should have won this game if not for Dubravka. As you said, Burnley 7 shots, 1 on target. It was an own goal for Liverpool. United 29 shots, 10 on target.
2 cleared off the line.
2 cleared off the line. It's one of them. What I know, it's as cliche as it is, but you do look at that and you go, how did Manchester United not win this game? Burnley were great, but again, I think if you play this game 10 times, United win it 9 out of 10. This is the one that at the moment they're not winning.
Yeah, hit the woodwork twice. Bruno Fernandes and Shea Lacey. 5 minutes of stoppage time is going to be played by the referee, by the 2 teams, of course, and the referee's telling Dubravka to hurry up with this goal kick. He sends it into the Manchester United half, where it's headed back by Ugarte, not by Ugarte, sorry, by Lacey. Now Shaw collect in the left back position, looks up, has to motor on with Dorgu in front of him. Dorgu now with Shaw just swapping positions with him momentarily, passes it back to Martinez. Martinez looking long here, now finds Shaw in a bit of space on the left hand side. Sesko making a run, but he goes back to Mainu. Square now to Martinez. Burnley pinned back here by Manchester United's pressure. Mount looking to force one out wide. He does find Dorgu. Dorgu measuring across in towards Xerxes. Come off his chest. Bounce kindly for Ugachukwu. He rides a challenge. Now goes past Mainu. Mainu gets his body in the way and wins it back tenaciously. Ugachukwu riding him, but he holds it up and plays it square to Yoro. Now Lacey. Wasn't given a great deal with that pass, but he does all right in a 50-50 with Laurent. With Anthony, I should say. Leeds holding on for a 3-2 win at St James's Park. Manchester United pushing for a 3rd goal at Turf Moor, with Lisandro Martinez joining the attack now. Knocks it back to Shaw and Mount. Mount puts a chip ball into the box for Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw just couldn't quite control it, and it goes behind for a goal kick.
I think as well, it might have been in the 2 minds of do I go for a shot or do I pull it back, and I think by the time he made that decision, it was a little bit in front of him, but he's trying to bring it down, isn't he, and then put it across or go for goal. It's very awkward, but if he maybe just swings his leg at it and goes for goal, that might be the best option there. Lovely ball from Mount, and at the moment time is running out, and as you say, Leeds at the moment 3-2 up, but a second penalty in the game at St James's Park, and it's the Magpies who have it.
Yep, as Burnley make a late change with Oliver Son coming on for Marcus Edwards. Sono, I believe he's a Peruvian international, isn't he, or something like that, yeah. Goal kick to be taken by Dubravka. Headed back by Dorgu. Xerxes collects, and then there's a foul on Dorgu. The referee's not spotted it. He's going to give a throw in to Burnley. And Scott Parker is telling his team to slow things down here. Oh no, he's telling him to throw it long towards Foster, who rises and brings it down. Now Son wins a throw in on the level with the edge of the Manchester United penalty, and this one's going to go into the box. It has to. We're at that stage of the game.
Yeah, and I think they're trying to see it out, but if they could pick up 3 points, as well as you said, they would go above West Ham. That would be massive for Scott Parker's side.
So they're setting up for a long throw here. That's going to take another 30 seconds. Kyle Walker, presumably to take it, although I'm not sure he's got much of a long throw. No, he takes it short, drops it in towards the corner flag for Son. Son trying to clear it off. Luke Shaw. It comes back to Kyle Walker. Shaw then does some defending and clears it down the line. Only as far as Burnley's Laurent, who tries to go forward, and in the end it's come off Dorgu and gone out for a throw. Just feels like the game is just petering out now from what was a very promising situation, well, for both teams really, in the middle of the second half, but they haven't been able to find the winner. Newcastle have found an equaliser though at home to Leeds. That's going to finish, well, it's currently 3-3. Not sure how much stoppage time will be left in that one, but only 2 minutes of stoppage time, if that, still at Turf Moor. Manchester United have a free kick in the left-back position to be taken by Senny Lomans, although Lyle Foster is stopping him from doing so at the moment. Referee's coming over to yellow card the South African for delaying the game. Don't think Foster can have too many complaints there.
They just got 10 minutes by the time it's in, Jim.
Oh, just
just a 10. So there's a long way to go in that game as well. So it could be 3-3, it could be a 4-3. We never know.
Ball flicked on by Sesko from that free kick. Cleared out by Burnley. Just into the Clarets dugout. And thrown back to Lomans, who's got to launch this one down the pitch, which he does now. Looking for Sesko and Xerxes. Xerxes holds it up for Dallo. Lacey out on the right side, receives the pass. He's got Pires in front of him. He